Audience. I'm tired. I gotta wake up here. Coffee first. Yo guys, what's up? Welcome to the Fears Podcast. It is 9 o'clock, time to rock, time to party, time to go ballistic, time to go nuts. And here we go. Well guys, I gotta say, the start of the weekend, going into the weekend, not much planned. I think it's just gonna be a chill weekend. I'm gonna do something fun tomorrow. I just haven't figured it out yet. Sunday, of course, I've got church. So, Sunday church, and then I think at church, they're either going to have a breakfast or a lunch, or both. I haven't, my pastor hasn't told me, but they said there's going to be some type. So, I'm looking forward to that. I didn't go to church last week. I just wasn't in the mood. But I'm looking forward to church this Sunday. Work was absolutely great last night. We didn't have too much. It wasn't too much. It wasn't a lot. It was just kind of in the middle. We had about 43,000. Fears got out of there. I was supposed to work from from 3 o'clock to about 8:30. But we actually finished early. I mean, things were a-rocking. Things were going smooth. So I got out of there not too early. I got out of there right at 7:45. So a little early, but not too early, So, and everything was going good. I was just working, fast, and I haven't been in this good of a mood in quite a while. So my boss came up to me, was like, "Fears, you're like in a really, 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 really good mood." I said, things have been actually getting a little bit better. And he said, well, here, tell me about it. So I was like, we just started. He's like, oh, that's all right, Fear. So he pulled me off the belt because he was concerned. And I said, well, listen, I'll be honest. I said, the last couple of months, a lot of stuff's been on my mind. So I said, I haven't been in the best of mood. And he was like, well, what? Like, what's going on? And I said, I miss my dad terribly, Next month, guys, will be my dad's, reunion of when he passed, because my dad passed away last September. So next month will be 1 year that my dad has been, passed away. So I told him about that. And he said, that's got to be tough, Fears. And I said, it is. And he said, if it makes you feel any better, Fears, he's like, I'm kind of going through the same thing. And I said, did you lose your dad? And he goes, no. He goes, I lost my, I lost my mom. And I was like, oh, wow. I said, that's crazy, man. I said, that's, And he said, well, so what else? I said, I don't have too many friends in Florida. I said, most of my friends are either in other states, like Visions, Visions in another state, Richie's in another state. And I said, I try to get out as much as I can, but I said between work and I said, sometimes I'm just so exhausted after work. I said, I don't want to go out. And he's like, I get that, Fears. He goes, living in a state, by yourself. And he said, have you tried to find, I said, oh yeah. I said, I try and find, new friends. And I said, I've been trying to find a lady. So I said, it gets real, lonely sometimes, And he's like, well, do you try to keep yourself busy? And I was like, oh yeah. I said, I stay busy as much as I can, And so I was just kind of telling him, and he goes, well, things can only get better from, from here, Fears. And I said, oh, I sure hope so. And he goes, the reason why I pulled you off the line, he goes, I just want to let you know, man. He goes, you have been working real fast. You've been doing really good work. And I said, I appreciate that. He goes, yeah. He goes, things seem to be going smoothly. He goes, I've just been going around giving recognition to everybody. And he goes, so I just wanted to come by, pull you off the belt just for a couple minutes, just say, hey, how much I appreciate all your hard work. He's like, you work diligently. He goes, you're a good worker. You're a good guy. He goes, I just wanted to show my thanks. And he said at the end of the shift, he goes, so while you guys are working, he goes, I'm going to go fire up the grill. And because we have a grill, because sometimes the managers, they try to give back to the workers, So he said, while you guys are working, he goes, I'm going to go do some paperwork, because he's like one of my main managers. And he goes, after I get done with my paperwork, he goes, I'm going to go fire up the grill and make as many bratwurst, hot dogs, hamburgers, and steak burgers as I possibly can. And he goes, I'm going to make sure at least every single person gets at least one of those, before they leave. He goes, if not two. And I said, wow. I said, dude, that's really nice of you. I said, I appreciate that. So as I was leaving, he goes, Fears, he goes, here you go. And he goes, what do you want? I said, I would love, because I've had his hamburgers before. I said, I would love a hamburger. And then I said, I would love a steak burger too. So I took two of each. And I was so hungry, I pretty much demolished them on the way home from work today. So yeah, but he understands, and as you guys understand, all the shit I've been thinking about the last couple months. That's why, unfortunately, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's been on my mind. That's why I haven't been uploading a lot of content, and I've just been doing the lives. Because, man, when you get into that depression, it's a son of a bitch, So, anyway, welcome to the live, and I just want to say something before I open up the chat. I'm redoing this stream because there was some drama, and I don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to make it very short and sweet to the point. Don't bring drama to my live, because if you do bring drama to the live, you'll be timed out, you'll have a warning, and then if you keep it up, I'll just block your ass. I do not care. These lives are drama-free. So, yeah. So, Pixel wanted to start some shit, and Pixel is my friend, but sometimes he likes to push the limits, and I'm just going to say this once. So, you guys aren't going to see him for quite a long time. So, I blocked him, and he's pretty much going to be blocked about 6 months to a year. Maybe then he'll think twice about bringing drama to my live. That's all I'm going to say. That's just how it is. That's how it's going to be. If anyone else wants to try it, the same thing will happen to you. Because I like making good content, drama-free content. I want people to have a good time when they're here. I don't want a bunch of drama. I don't want a bunch of bullshit. And I don't understand why people like to start drama. Because he deliberately did it. He knew it was going to happen. So that's all I'm going to say. So maybe next time he'll think twice. So looks like I won that one. So yeah. So he's going to be blocked for about 6 months to a year. And he said he understood. He did apologize. I accepted his apology. And I said, actions speak louder than words. So you won't see him for a while. And if he tries, I'll just block every single thing he tries. So it's just not going to happen. With that being said, I just wanted to get that out of the way. And let's start fresh. Let's start. And let's have a good live. All right. Now I'm ready to open up the chat. All right. There we go. There we go. Let's see here. Let me, there we go. All right. Ready to rock. Ready to rock. Welcome, Venom, and wow, Juggalo Vlogs. What is up? Juggalo Vlogs here. Man, it's been a while since I've seen you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Man, it's been a while. Should we smoke wax for Christmas? Should we smoke oil for Christmas? It's been quite a long time. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing great. All right. Well, today's topics are. I thought I would talk about the art that I'm proud of. I thought I would talk about the top 10 Star Trek episodes. It's going to be hard to pretty much like hone in, the top 10, but I'll sure give it a go. So yeah. And then I recently watched this movie, and it had a lot of good matches on it. But it basically was, it's a movie about how Mr. McMahon created the WWE. So it was pretty interesting to see how he created the WWE. And then I still need to watch these 3 matches, but I watched this match all the way up. So I'll tell you guys about my favorite matches on this DVD. I bought this when I was on vacation. I went into V-Stock in Missouri, and I just picked up pretty much a whole bunch of goodies. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, let's start the live. I'm just going to tell Visions that we're live, and there we are. And anyone and everyone is welcome. Put your comments in the chat. And thank you for the 2 likes. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Yo, Visions. Let's see here. Well, if I could spell. I am live, so come and hang out when you can. All right. There we go. So anyway, I hope everyone everyone's start of their weekend is good. The start of my weekend's been all right. It's been okay. Let's see what else has been going on. Well, time for some updates. I wanted to thank Visions and everyone else for all of their movie suggestions. I've been writing down all the movie suggestions. I've only got the ones that are circled and crossed out. Those are the ones that I've got to so far. So, but yeah, there's quite a big list. So I'll eventually get to all of these, when I can. Let's see, what other updates? Let's see, there's not too many shows coming up. There is a show coming up, I believe. I think Jeff, my convention buddy, I think Jeff is going to do like 3 or 4 shows in October. So there's going to be a lot of shows around my birthday. I'm not for sure if there. Oh no! I'm sorry. I think there's 1 show in September. But the shows are done for August because it's almost, at the end of the month. So yeah, so there's that. I think there's like 1 or 2 shows in September. So, and I believe that's the Star Wars con. So I am planning to go to that. But I think that's the only show in September. But Jeff, like me, loves Halloween. So Jeff, I know there's at least 2 to 3 shows in October. So October is going to be very busy for me because we're going to be celebrating my birthday at the end of September, towards the middle to the end. That's when Fears is going to open up his P.O. box. So the fans can write to me. I can if you guys send me anything, I can do some unboxings. I want to give back to the fans, and I want to read all your fan mail. And just so the trolls know, if you try to send me any crazy shit, it will not. You're wasting your time because it will not see the light of day. The only way that I would show is if I do get any troll mail, I'll just take it to a fire pit and burn it, and I'll film it and be like, "Hey, look, trolls, you're wasting your time. I didn't even read it. Bam, your troll mail is gone." So I'm just so I hope these idiots don't abuse it. But to all my loving and loyal fans, feel free to and I'm going to make a video. There's going to be rules for my P.O. box, pretty pretty short and sweet, pretty, normal rules. Don't send me anything crazy. Don't send me, any food, don't, just send me normal things, and I'm going to try and do like a Mailbox Monday type of thing, like the way Tommy does. I mean, I won't do it exactly how Tommy does, but the minute I get stuff, I'll flick on the video camera and I'll either make a video of the unboxings and reading your guys' fan letters, or I'll do it live. So that is coming very, 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 very soon. So like I said, towards the middle of September to the end of September, that's when that's going to happen. So yeah. Let's see. My mom's doing good. My grandma's doing good. Let's see. That's pretty much all the updates. Work's been going all right. Peak season's about to start. Peak season is about to start at the beginning of September. So we're going to be quite busy from the beginning of September all the way through January. All the way through January. Like, I'd say the middle of January, that's when it gets really, 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 really busy. And so I'll keep you guys updated on work. And I've been trying to get a promotion. So I hope everything goes well. I'm also looking for better job opportunities too. So, because I haven't decided if I'm going to stay with the company that I'm with. I mean, the company is nice, but I'm always looking for better job opportunities. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. So let's see. There's not a lot of fans in the chat because I was live earlier, but of course, some people had to ruin it for other people. So I don't know if everyone's went to bed or not. I don't know, but I'm gonna continue with live. Hopefully it picks up. I told Visions that I was gonna go live again. I don't know if he's online or if anyone else is online, but I'm going to write everybody on the Discord and let them know that I'm back live. Hopefully then we can get some more people in here. Give me a sec. I'm going to write a few people. So yeah. Yo, heroes and villains. Let's see here. So I wrote Visions. I wrote Fangirl, Kate, Larry. Let's see here. I wrote Yakov. I wrote Richie. I just told everybody that I'm live. So hopefully we get some more people in here. But if not, I'm just going to continue on with the show. So, anyway, like I said, I hope everyone's having a great weekend. I haven't really planned out my weekend. The only thing that I know I've got planned for sure is that I'm going to church on Sunday. So, Sunday church should be pretty good. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I know it's going to be something fun. Because I haven't went out and done anything fun in quite a while, so I don't know exactly what it'll be, but it'll be something fun. Hey, Fangirl Kate, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Kate says, I'm glad you're back. So am I, Kate. I'm not going to let one person, ruin my weekend, ruin my life, Kate, I don't know if you heard. I told everybody at the start of this live, you won't see Pixel for quite a long time. He really pissed me off, accusing me of things I didn't believe in. I didn't say. I didn't say any of that. So you're not going to see him for about 6 months to a year. And I wrote to him and we talked, and he said, I understand fears. He did apologize, and I said, I appreciate your apology, but I said actions speak louder than words. So I said, why don't you just not do it ever again? And I don't even know why he had to start. I don't understand why people love to make other people suffer. I don't know why I don't know why some people try to deliberately ruin a live. Like, I love my fans, and me and Pixel usually are cool, but that really rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm like, why is he starting shit? You know? Like, I haven't done anything to anyone. I'm just trying to do a show, just trying to, have a good live, and then he pulls that bullshit, So, yeah. Oh, yo, you're fine, Kate. You're fine. Kate, well, whenever you get a chance, just respond to my message on Discord. No worries. Take your time. I understand. If you're busy, you're busy. So yeah. You said sorry I didn't respond to your DM earlier. I was about to cook dinner, then I forgot to reply. Oh, don't worry about it. Just respond to me after after the live's done. So yeah. Hopefully Visions comes back. I wrote Larry. I wrote you, Kate. I wrote Richie. I wrote Triple. So hopefully we get some more people in here. But if not, there's always tomorrow's show, and I'll finish off today's show. But yeah, I don't like it when people try to ruin everyone's fun deliberately. Like, I hadn't done anything to anyone. I try to put on a good show. I try to have fun. I try to have a space where everybody can have fun and nobody's discriminated against. There's no drama. But, of course, someone's got to ruin it for everybody. So it's just so stupid to deliberately start something and then act like a sweet little angel. Oh, I didn't do anything. No, yeah, you did. So you guys aren't going to see Pixel for about 6 months to a year. And if he tries it again, it'll be another 6 months to a year. So eventually he'll get it. And it's not just Pixel. It's anyone. Anyone that brings drama, that's going to happen to you too. Because I don't want to deal with people's drama. I don't want to deal with people's bullshit. And you'll either eventually learn to not bring drama to my live, or you can just go away and never come back. That's fine with me too. So, yeah. So, sometimes it takes people a long time to learn a simple lesson. Don't start drama. Pretty simple. Anyway, let's continue on. There we are. So I'm gonna message Vision again. Come and hang out again, buddy, if you can. All right. Well, I appreciate Kate and Juggalo and Venom Gaming for showing up. Hopefully we'll get some more people. But anyway, like I said, tonight's topics are three pretty cool topics. Hopefully I'll have more movies to review tomorrow. I think I'm gonna sit down tonight and I'm gonna watch Evil Dead 2 tonight. So I can review it. So Visions, everybody else, your homework tonight is to watch Evil Dead 2. So if you want to contribute to the to the review, there it is. Fangirl Kate said, "Is Pixel allowed back at a later date?" Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's not banned for life. I had a talk with him. I just said, "You're pretty much going to be banned for about 6 months to a year." And he said, "I understand." And then he said, "I apologize." And then I said, "Well, I appreciate the apology, but I said actions speak louder than words." I said, "I don't even know why you had to start some shit, I said, just next time, don't start any shit, because I like my lives to be fun and drama-free, where we can just sit and talk about movies and have fun and talk about whatever I want to talk about or whatever the fans want to talk about, or a combination of both, Like, there's no need for drama and bullshit and all that crap. It's just babyfied and childish, really. So, yeah. So, no, Kate, to answer your question, he's not banned for good. He's just banned for a while. So, maybe next time hopefully next time he won't bring any drama. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, the topics for tonight are the top 10 Star Trek episodes. It's going to be hard to narrow it down to a top, 10, because I've watched a lot of Trek in my life, and it's going to be hard. But I will do my very best to hone in my top 10 favorite episodes. Then I'm going to talk about some art that I'm proud of, and then to end, we're gonna review this movie that I watched last night. But like I said, Kate, I know you. I know. Kate, I know that you've been wanting to review Shazam 2. I'm gonna watch Shazam 2 soon. But tonight, I think I'm gonna sit down and watch Evil Dead 2. So, if anyone wants to watch this and add their 2 cents in tomorrow, because I encourage my fans, I'm like, hey, watch this yourself, so then you'll have something to contribute to the review tomorrow. So yeah. Kate says, what happens if he comes in on an alternate account? I see people do that sometimes. Then I'll just block that one, Kate. Like, people are going to learn. They can't just do and say whatever the hell they want. This is not their show. It's my show. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean. But I will not have anyone interrupt my show because I have loving and loyal fans. And it's just so childish to ruin someone's show on purpose. You know? There's no need for all that crap. You know? So yeah. That's why anytime I see a troll, I immediately block it. So yeah. Wow, thank you so much, Kate. I really appreciate that. That was very nice of you, Kate. You didn't have to do that. Kate sent $1.99, and it says, for not giving up and coming back for the fans, peace and love, fears. Well, thank you so much, Kate. That was really nice of you. You didn't have to do that. I almost didn't come back tonight. I really didn't, because I was like, someone's already pissed me off once. I'm like, I don't want to do another show and get pissed off again. You know? Because I hadn't gotten pissed off in quite a long time. But when someone puts words in my mouth, especially vile words, you know, that rubs me the wrong way. You know? And I'm like, I don't want to blow up again. That's why I immediately just said, well, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't say that. And he's making crap up. So, anyway. Yo! Heroes and Villains Collectibles. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, yeah. Anyway. Let's continue on. Heroes, it's been a while since we've hung out, man. It's been a while, but good to see you. Hopefully we can hang out soon. Like I was telling everybody at the start of the show, Heroes. I think there's no more toy convention shows in August, but I know there's one for sure in September. So if you want to go with me, buddy, it's the Star Wars. Jeff's Star Wars conventions are always a lot of fun. So yeah, you're more than welcome to come to that show with me. And then there's at least 2 or 3, I think, in October. And Heroes, I don't know if you heard, I'm going to start a P.O. box soon. So I can give back to the fans, so they can write letters, and if they send me anything within reason, then I can, I'll probably do not like Tom, well, kind of like Tommy's Mailbox Monday, but I'm not trying to steal his thunder. It'll be like, I'll just call it like Fears Man Mail or Fears Mail or something like that, and I'll either go live and read the fans' letters, or I'll make a video, or a combination of both, But anyway, big shout out to Kate. Oh, and Heroes, I don't know if you heard, Kate. I've got super chats on and the stickers, and I'm kind of learning as I go, Heroes. But Heroes, they finally accepted my. You know how you helped me set up everything, Heroes. Well, you helped me start it, and then I finished the rest of it, and then I don't know why it took so long, but it took YouTube at least, I don't know, 4 to 5 months to basically accept my monetization. So Heroes, I don't know if you saw. I couldn't remember if you were there when I celebrated with the fans, but I finally got monetized, and it's been cool. It's been cool. But big shout out to Cade for sending me one. Now I've gotten 4. Now I've gotten 4 super chats. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Hero says, there is a convention tomorrow, MyCon, going with my daughter. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, well, you have fun. You have fun with your daughter, and I hope you guys have a good time. Hope you guys get a lot of deals and a lot of cool collectibles and stuff. Be sure to take Fierce's advice, Heroes. Is it a one-day con or a 2-day con? If it's a one-day con, wait to the very end of the show to do those deals. All right? To do those deals. If it's a 2-day con, wait until Sunday, because then by the end of the weekend, that's when the vendors are more than willing to do better deals. You know, if it's at the start of the weekend, they're like, oh no, $60. I'm set at that price. But by Sunday, you know, they're tired and they just want to get out of there. You know, because usually vendors hop from convention to convention to convention. So the best time to get deals is on Sunday afternoon, about maybe 20 to 25 minutes until the show is done. Then that's when you're like, hey, do you really want to put all this crap, back on your trailer and hightail it to the next convention? I think not. I want that Godzilla, statue. Let's just use that as an example. Oh, you've got that Godzilla statue priced at $60? I'm thinking 25. I'm thinking 30, And so then you're more likely to get a better deal, So that would be my suggestion, Heroes. You already know this, Heroes. So yeah. So I'm just restating the advice that you gave to me. So you have fun with your daughter, get lots of deals, get the take advantage of those vendors, Heroes. Listen, just like Fears, the vendors are putty in your hands. They honestly think they're going to win, and you're like, no, you absolutely don't stand a chance when it comes to Fears and LC. And they're like, no, I think I can get, $20 out of LC. And you're like, no, you're a fucking idiot. LC will get you down to $5. So LC is just as good at dealing with the vendors as Fears is. Don't forget who gave you that advice. Oh, I know. It was the best advice you ever gave me, buddy. But before we became friends, Fears was already wheeling and dealing, on those deals, And I'm not making fun of the vendors, I'm just saying vendors, in my opinion. I'll give you an example. Not Triple. Heroes went to a con, right? And then he goes, hey, Fierce, guess what? I got this Ninja Turtle thing. The same Ninja Turtle thing was at the convention that I went to, Heroes. Remember we talked about this? And they wanted $250 for it. And I was like, holy shit, that is a lot. That's a lot. That's way too much. And then Heroes, I don't know how much you got it for, but Heroes got it for way cheaper. Way cheaper. So yeah. So I'm all for the vendors making a good profit. I'm all for paying a good deal, but do not let a vendor make you overpay, because of course, they're trying to make a profit. They want to make as much money as possible, but you also want to get a sweet deal. So don't lowball them, don't lowball them whatsoever, just give a reasonable, a fair price. If they say 60, I would say half of that is a fair price. Oh, you're at 60? Well, I'm at 30. I think that's a pretty reasonable deal. Anyway, let me get the schedule so I can tell you guys what the next convention is coming up. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is the up-to-date. Schedule. This is the up-to-date schedule. So like I said, one show is in September, and then there's one. I'm sorry, I thought there was 3 shows. There's 4 shows coming up in October. So Fears is going to be very busy for October. October 1st through the 22nd. So October 1st is the Gatorville Collectors Toy Fest. October 7th, the Kissimmee Collectors Toy Fest. October 21st, the South Florida Collectors Toy Fest. And October 22nd, the Orlando Funko Pop Toy Fest, which I won't be going to that one because I'm not a Funko Pop fan. So if you guys want to hang out with Fears, there's the schedule. Take a picture of it, and I'll see you guys at one of those shows. Or if you want to buy tickets and if you want any information about the shows, go to Facebook or FloridaToyShowsAndExpos.com. So just go to Facebook, write that in. There you are. Anyway, Hero says, that was the VHS set. Yes, exactly. So I was like, $250 for that biatch? I'm just like, that's just too much. That's too much. And I looked online, Heroes, it was a lot cheaper online, for that. So I'm like, what is going on, But again, I understand. They're trying to make a profit. You're trying to make a profit, so anyway. So let's continue on. Anyway, like I said, I'm not for sure of what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to do something fun tomorrow. Maybe go to FYE and buy some more movies. I haven't decided, but I'm going to start tomorrow going to IHOP, I think, get a nice big breakfast, and then do something fun, because I haven't went out and done anything fun in a while. I thought about maybe going axe throwing again, get some more footage of me axe throwing. I haven't decided, because it's just been work, busy. October's going to be really busy. Setting up the Halloween tree. We got 4 cons. Well, I'm going to 3 cons because I'm not going to go to that Funko Pop one. So technically there's 4 cons coming up in October, but I'm only going to go to 3. And then peak season starts September 1st because we had a very long, meeting last night at work. Work's been going good, but I've never had a 35-minute meeting. Normally the meetings, because we have to get going right away. And he's like, well, he goes, we really need to talk to you guys about peak season. So he's like, you guys may get out a little early. He goes, well, you guys may get out a little late. He goes, I want everyone to clock in because everyone needs to come to this meeting. He goes, it's a mandatory meeting. Normally, we go to our sections and they just say, hey, here's the updates. Here's where everyone's going to work. Here's what happened last night at work. Here's what's happening tonight at work. And bada bing, bada boom. And it's usually a 5 or 6 minute meeting. But the reason why it was a 35-minute meeting last night at work is because peak season's coming up. That means 4 major holidays are coming up. So that means, he said, well, everyone that works here, you're going to get more hours. He goes, you'll either get your normal 2 days off, or we may have to have just 1 day off. Because, he goes, enough of those easy days, between February and right now, it's pretty much, kind of chill shifts, 35,000, 36, maybe the occasional 45,000. But he said the minute peak season starts, he goes, those easy days will be a thing of the past. He said it'll be 50,000 plus packages, 60,000, 70, 80, 90. The most I've ever had was 3 days before Christmas, we had over 100,000. It was insane. I was running out of room putting my packages. I had to start stacking them on the side of the trucks, in the truck, along the wall of the truck. Here's the truck, and then there's this concrete wall. I had to physically take it off the belt, and I'm like, hey, boss, I'm running out of fucking places to put the boxes. He went, Fears, I know. He goes, it's pretty pandemonia. He's like, just make a sign and put the number and duct tape it to the wall, and then just stick the rest of the packages, near the wall. And I was like, oh shit, okay, this is a first. And I was at the very end. So when the driver came in, I said, we had a lot. And he was like, well, how much? And I said, over 100,000. And he was like, no fucking way. I'm like, I'm like, hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm like, I kid you not, over 100,000 packages, right? So he goes, all right. He goes, all right. Well, where's all my stuff? And he goes, well, I said it's on the side here. I said there's boxes inside the truck. There's boxes on the other side of the truck. And I said, you see that wall over there? And he's like, yeah. I said, all that stuff along the wall is yours. So yeah. Fangirl Kate says, I have to go for like 20 minutes. I'll be back if you're still alive. All right, Kate. I'll see you whenever you're back. But Kate, before you go, I want to thank you. You're the fourth person to give me a super chat. So the first three were donated by Dasha, and now Kate has donated. So Kate, I really appreciate that. You didn't have to, but I appreciate you being a loving and loyal fan, and for not starting any drama, Kate, because you've never started any drama. You've given me nothing but loyal support. I appreciate it. And I want to say sorry to all my loving and loyal fans. For the most part, Fierce tries to get along with everybody, but some people make it so difficult, I never try to... I hate getting angry on camera. I hate starting drama. I hate drama when it starts. I just want really cool hangout shows. But when someone says, hey, Fierce, you do this, you do that, and it's not true, I'm just like, he's deliberately starting shit when there doesn't need to be any shit started. And I'll briefly, this is the last thing I'm going to bring up. So when I grew up, like any other kid, almost all of my friends liked wrestling. My friend Trent, Eric, and Tom, they are obsessed with wrestling. I only liked wrestling a little bit growing up, but anyway. But my friends, they were obsessed with wrestling, as most, like boys are, you know what I'm saying? I remember going to a couple of live events with my dad. Me and my dad went to more sporting events, than wrestling. But I remember we went to, I don't think it was WrestleMania. I think it was like, I think it was like either WCW came to St. Louis or it was WWE. Well, back then in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't even WWE yet. It was WWF. So before it was, before it became WWE, me and my dad went, and we went to like 3 shows. I remember one show was Steve Austin versus somebody. I honestly can't remember because when I grew up, I loved Steve Austin and I loved The Rock. Then the second show was The Rock versus 2 other people. So it was The Rock by himself versus 2 other people. And then the third one was probably my favorite one that me and my dad went to. It was, we saw Hulk Hogan wrestle Ric Flair and somebody else. I honestly can't remember, but it was, because they only came to St. Louis a couple of times, like when I was growing up. So, but me and my dad went and did more sporting events. Like we went to a lot of St. Louis Cardinal games. We went to a lot of St. Louis Blues games. And basically what happened was, like, growing up, I always loved the intense rival of, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin giving Vince McMahon shit, and then Vince McMahon being the evil corporate boss and giving, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin shit. Like, that rival, you can't outdo that fucking rival. And here's what basically, I'll give you a 10-second version, and then I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I had no idea. I bought this on vacation before I found out about Vince McMahon. So Pixel comes in and said, hey, Fierce, I'm not trying to start any shit. He actually was trying to start shit. But I Googled it to make sure that he wasn't lying. This actually did happen. I didn't know about this but before I bought this, but Pixel came in trying to start shit, Yakvo, and I'll get to yours in a minute. And I had no idea that Vince McMahon basically raped someone. And I don't condone rape. I don't follow rapists. I don't, none of that crap. And he made the remark, Yakov, and he knew what he was doing. He just said it to start some shit, and he said it to get me mad. And it's not the truth. He said, wow, he goes, I find it kind of, like, odd that Fears would, like, follow a rapist. I don't follow a rapist. I like the matches. and I like wrestling, but that's it. I don't condone his actions. So I got all mad, Yakov, and then I, of course, like anyone, I'm like, I didn't say that. So then I stopped the live, and then I told Visions, I'm going to cool off. I'm going to get some dinner. I'm going to take a shower. And then I said, if I feel like going back live again, I will. I come back in, and I'm like, hey, I don't want to talk about it anymore. What happens, Yakov? Bimbo, some other people are calling Fear's a rapist. Oh, I'm following a rapist. Bimbo said it, and I'm not putting up with people's shit anymore. I don't want any more drama. So she called me, like, why are you following a rapist? I'm not following a rapist. I'm just trying to do a cool, chill review on a movie that I watched, and I'm trying to do a show. That's it, So I'm not putting up with people's crap. If you bring drama to my show, you're gone. I don't care how big of a fan you are. That's just how it is, Yakov. So Bimbo tried to start some shit. Other people tried to start shit. I instantly got rid of them. I'm not dealing with it anymore. So I'm just letting you know, Yakov. Pixel isn't banned for life, but he did write to me and he apologized. And I said, well, I appreciate your apology, but I said, why did you have to start shit even to begin with? I said, there's no need for that. I said, it's so childish, And then I said, well, I appreciate the apology, but I said, actions speak louder than words. I said, Pixel, I just want to let you know, you're going to be banned for at least 6 months to a year. I said, maybe that'll, teach you twice of bringing drama to my live. And all he wrote back was, I understand. And I went, good. I'm glad you understand. I said, I hope it doesn't happen again. So, yeah. So that's basically what happened. So, I really don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's just continue on with the live. But, and you guys know, I'm fair. I try to treat everybody with dignity and respect. But when someone makes fun of my friends, my family, puts words in my mouth, when I know I didn't say it to begin with, and I know it's a false rumor, that just gets the blood boiling. I try to have patience with everybody, but sometimes people just like to rock the boat, and then I'm just not dealing with it anymore, So, yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. So, hopefully that's the end of that. So, Pixel will be back, just not for a while. And I know he's sorry, but I just wish it didn't even have to start, because it was out of nothing. I was just like, well, obviously I don't condone what Vince did, but I still like wrestling. I'm like, well, can't I just review a fucking movie? Because this movie has nothing to do with what he did. This movie's about all the matches and all the stuff that he, before he did all that crazy crap. And I haven't done a lot of research on it, Yakov. I just read, when Pixel said that, I just Googled it and I read it for like 2 or 3 minutes. And online, he said that he denied it. So I don't know if he actually did it or not did it, or it doesn't even matter whether he did it or not did it. I hope he didn't do it, but I don't agree with any of that shit. And then when someone says, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, Fears. You condone it. I'm like, no, I never said that. I never said that in a million years, and I don't condone that, So yeah. Oh, it's definitely off, Yakov. I mean, he really upset me. He really upset me because that's not true whatsoever, And exactly, shame on him for implying such a thing. Exactly. So, I mean, I still want to hang out with Pixel, at some point, but I don't understand why he had to start some drama. But anyway. So there it is. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with wrestling, So yeah. So I think everybody was just making it out to be a larger issue than it really was. And I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to do a live, So yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Well, Yakov, you got here just in the nick of time, because it's going to be hard, but I'm going to try to narrow the top 10 down of Star Trek episodes, my favorite. So if you got any suggestions, Yakov, let me know. But I guess the highlight of this stream, big shout out to Kate. Kate, I really appreciate that donation. That was really nice. You didn't have to do that. It's nice to know that I have loving and loyal fans. And I'll be honest, I have more loving and loyal fans than like trolls that like start shit, you know. I've got a few here and there, but not too much, you know. So thank God. Thank God it's not like Roman Atwood. Oh God, I probably wouldn't go live if I was Roman Atwood. Think about how many trolls that guy's got. Like it's peanuts. Like I'm peanuts compared to him. But that's probably why Casey Neistat doesn't go live. Because picture if I had like 13 million and then try to do a live, there'd be countless trolling. Like it'd be unmanageable, you know. That's my only fear. Like it's cool that I get subs and I welcome anyone watching my content, you know. But then like in the back of my mind I'm like, well, the more fans I get, the more bullshit I have to deal with, you know. Sometimes it's overwhelming, man. I'm telling you, sometimes it's overwhelming. And they know that. So shame on them. Shame, or not just them. Shame on everybody trying to bring drama to a live. Because you guys know, I always mean the best intentions. You know? But I know why they do it. They love to see me freak out. And I had been doing it a long time. I hadn't freaked out in a while. I didn't really even freak out. I just went, you know what, Pixel? This is exactly what I said, Yakov. I said, you know what, Pixel, fuck you. I said, I'm done. I said, I'll do a live on another day. And then I just ended it. So it wasn't too bad, but I always try and work on my patience. What I should have just did is I should have just said, hey, you know what? You know, today I'm not feeling it, guys. I think I'm going to take off. That's what I should have did, but I was really upset about what he said. But anyway, let's try to salvage this stream. I mean, this stream's going pretty good, but now you guys know what happened. And I'm not lying. That's a play-by-play of everything what happened. So, anyway, let's continue on. Yakov says, my favorite episode of all time is Darmok. And, oh, yeah, those two are good. Those two are good, buddy. But I'm going to try to hone in. And I mean favorite Star Trek episodes like throughout. Now, I'm not going to add in episodes from Star Trek Discovery or Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Strange Worlds because, excuse me. Oh, man, I need to get a tissue. Excuse me. I'm not going to add in those three because I haven't finished watching the entire series. So I'm only going to add in episodes that I've seen all the way through, Yakov. So the ones that I've seen all the way through is the original 60s Star Trek, Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Voyager. And Star Trek Enterprise. Those 5 I've seen all the way through. The other ones I'm still working on. I still got a few episodes of Star Trek Picard to watch. I've still got 2 full seasons of 3 seasons of Star Trek Discovery, because now I have all 4 seasons, and I just started watching a couple episodes of Star Trek Strange Worlds, and you know what, Yakov, I've yet to even get to Star Trek Lower Decks. It's kind of cool that they didn't do it live action. They did something different, like make a cartoon out of it, because listen, you guys know, Fears loves cartoons. I don't care if you're 5 years old or 195. Everybody loves cartoons, you know? Or at least I do. I love cartoons. Anyway. Big shout out to Visions making the Lord Randall mug. Visions, I hope one day, I hope he makes a mug of just all Fierce faces. Now, Randy's got 2 faces on this. He's got the kind of the, yeah, I'm cool look, like that. And then he's got the surprise look right here, where he's like that. So, Yakov, Visions, I will give you both looks. I'll try to recreate these looks that Randy did. So, hopefully one day Fierce gets a Fierce mug. All right, here's the, here's the half smile look. Oh wait, I shouldn't turn. I should do it looking forward. Right? And then here's the surprise look, Visions. So hopefully one day I'll get a mug. That's all right if I don't, but it would be cool to have a Fears mug. It would be cool to have a Fears mug. But I'm honored. I love Randall like a brother. It's so cool. When I got this, I was fucking losing my mind. I was laughing hysterically. It was funny as hell. It was pretty funny. Yakov, try to message Visions. I hope he comes back in time because I messaged Visions and he was like, hey, are you going to go live again? I said, I got to calm down. I said, I haven't ate dinner yet. So I said, I'm going to eat dinner. I'll take a shower. And I said, if I'm feeling back up to it, I said, then I'll redo the live. And then he hearted the message. So I hope he comes back. So, but it's getting pretty late. I don't know if he went to sleep or if he's just calling it a night, but we'll see. Hopefully he'll come back for it. Well, he did see my message, and I wrote it to him 33 minutes ago. So hopefully, here, let me write him again. Hey, are you coming back to the live? Anyway, I hope he shows back up. Hey, oh, Yakov, I forgot to ask you before we continue on. Did you find? Just woke up. There you go, Visions. There you go. That was pretty funny, Visions. That was pretty funny, buddy. Had to get one more joke in there. That's all right, Visions. That's okay. I've calmed down a lot. Yakov, I forgot to ask you. Have you gotten? I know last time we talked to Yakov, did you? I know you were looking for work. Did you find work? I'm just curious because I know the last time you said that you quit your job because you just didn't like that one or something like that, and you said you were looking for better work. Did you ever find? I know you did some shows with your music, and you said the shows went fucking great. Like you said, you knocked them out of the park. But did you find any work? Because I've been worried about you, buddy. Because doing shows and stuff is fucking cool, and I love your passion for music, and I love that you pursue that. But you also got to make money to survive and stuff. So I hadn't asked in a long time, Yakov. Did you find any work, or did you find some better work? I'm just curious. It's none of my business. I was just wondering, buddy, since we're friends. I forgot to tell you guys. So Adam Bacchidi wrote me. And he said, Fears, I'm really excited about our interview. And I said, so am I. And he said, when do you think we can do it? I said, I'm going to be busy all of September because that's when peak season starts. And then I said, there's four, there is 4 shows, but I'm only going to go to 3 shows because I don't like Funko Pops. And he said, oh, wow, 3 conventions? I said, yeah. I said, there's 1 convention in September. And then I told him, I said, there's 3 conventions in October. So I said, maybe in a month, maybe 2 months, we'll do, your professional interview because I've always wanted to interview Adam Bacchidi about how he became such a big success on YouTube. And I think it would be a really good interview. And how I prepared for Steph Toomey and I prepared for Randall, I'm really going to prepare for the Adam Bacchidi interview. I'm going to watch as much video as I possibly can to generate of his. I'm going to watch as much content as I can of his to generate some really good questions. So yeah. I passed out after the last one. Well, I almost took a nap, Visions. I got something to eat. I took a shower. I watched another match. I watched the now I've only got 2 more matches to watch. I need to still watch the Stephanie McMahon versus Vince McMahon match, and I need to watch the Undertaker match. But I watched the Hulk Hogan street fight battle, so that was a pretty good one because I've always liked Hulk Hogan. Did you end up patching things up with Pixel? I guess. I guess, Visions. Basically, what I just said is, I said, why did you have to start any shit to begin with? And then he said, well, I was going to apologize to you, but then you started cursing. And I said, well, why wouldn't I curse? I said, you deliberately started some shit. And then I was like, did you think I'm happy? I said, no, I'm not happy. And I said, I don't like people. I said, my show, I try to have fun at all times. I try to have a cool, chill environment. I don't want any drama. I don't want any bullshit. I said I want my fans to feel like they can come, have a good time, chill out, have fun. And I said, they don't want to deal with all that bullshit. I don't want to deal with that bullshit. So I said, I would appreciate it, Pixel, if you wouldn't do that anymore. And then he said, well, I apologize. And then I said, well, I appreciate your apology, but I said, actions speak louder than words. And I said, I'm just going to let you know you really pissed me off. I said, because you accused me of saying something, and I didn't say that. And I said, nor would I ever say something like that, because I don't condone people raping other people. I don't condone that type of stuff. And I had no idea that he did that. You know, if I would have known, I would have never bought this, you know. But I still like all the matches from back in the day, you know. And there's nothing wrong with liking wrestling. Now, I don't like it as much as my friend Trent and Eric. They're obsessed with wrestling, you know. But I like wrestling a little bit. So I don't think there's anything wrong that I bought that DVD, you know. I was on vacation. I was like, oh, cool. I'll get that. I'll check out some matches, you know. And then for him to accuse me that I follow that type of person, I'm like, no, I never said that. I never said that in a million years. So then after he apologized, Visions, I said, I just want to let you know, Pixel. I said, you really pissed me off. And I said, you're pretty much going to be blocked for about 6 months to a year. I said, because I will not have people deliberately come into my show and think it's their show, think they can just do and say whatever the hell they want, and ruin my show on purpose. And he wrote back and said, I understand, Fears, and I understand why you're blocking me. I said, well, yeah. I said, maybe next time you'll think twice before starting drama in my live. And that just doesn't go for him. That goes for anyone, you know, because I want it to be a cool, chill environment, you know, to do lives. So we kind of patch things up, and so he understands. So in about 6 months, I'll unblock him, and he'll be more than welcome to come back to the show. So it is what it is. So yeah. And I don't mind people joking around. I don't mind people teasing, because that's what guys do. But he wasn't teasing. He wasn't joking, you know. He deliberately came, tried to start some shit, and I shut that shit down lickety-split. So yeah. Anyway. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I really don't, you know. Like, I've already said too much, you know. I was just going to say some shit at the beginning of this live, and then that's it. So, yeah. He said he was saying something about shooting up cannabis the other day. He's probably just out of it. Yeah, but even though, Visions, he knows what he did, you know. I don't like when people deliberately, I have never deliberately, I just don't understand. I really don't. I really don't understand trolls. They get sick pleasure out of, oh yeah, we'll say this, we'll do this, and we'll deliberately like ruin someone's show. I have never, maybe I'm more mature than all these idiots, but I've never said, you know what, I'm going to deliberately ruin someone's show, you know? You know? So, I don't get it. You know, it's so childish. Like, ooh, yeah, let's troll someone. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that, you know? It's just, to me, it's a big waste of time, you know? Anyway, I always try and be a good guy. I always try and do the right thing. I really do hate drama. I hate it. And I try and get along with everybody, Visions. I really do. Because I'm a Christian. I am. And I'm not just saying that's not an excuse. I am a Christian. I love God. I love Jesus. I always try and do the right thing. I always, you know, I've never done anything wrong in my life, you know? Like, I've made mistakes, but I've never done anything like on a big magnitude scale, you know? You know, growing up, I made some stupid mistakes, you know? But nothing like, you know, nothing like too crazy, you know? Just like things that, you know, kids do, they, you know, stupid stuff, you know, growing up. And I learned from my mistake, and I never did it again. You know? I've only gotten arrested once, and that wasn't even my fault. That was because of my idiot friend, Nick, you know? I told him, I remember, clear as day, I was like, Nick, do not use that fucking soundboard. We're going to get in trouble. I said, use someone that everyone will know, like Arnold, Michael Jackson, you know, Jack Nicholson. Oh, no, Fears, we got to use this one. We'll really freak him out. And I'm like, you're on your own, dude. I said, I am not I was in the room and I was giggling, but I was like, you're on your own. And I got guilty by association. And I was like, oh, Nick, you son of a bitch. So, yeah. So, he's not banned for life, Visions. He'll be back. It just is, I get sick and tired. It's been like eternal peace for like 2 years now, or almost 2 years. And then all of a sudden, out of the woodwork, here they all come again. And I'm just not putting up with it, And everyone should know that by now. Like, the only rule to my live is don't bring drama. You bring drama, you get one chance, I'll time you out. You do it again, you're gone. Because I will not put up with it. I shouldn't have to put up with it. I'm just trying to do a cool, fun show, and then they turn a little tiny thing that I had no idea, and they turn it into a big mountain, It's just ridiculous, So I hope he doesn't do it again. And when he comes back, like, this is probably the last time I talk about it. I hope it's not like 6 months of people talking about it, or a year, or whatever, because I don't want to deal with all that shit, It's just so fucking stupid, I tell you what. Sometimes I love being a YouTube personality, and sometimes I fucking hate it. Today's one of those days. It couldn't just have been a chill day, It had to be a whole bunch of shit, Oh, I'm telling you what, Visions. If it ain't one thing, it's another thing, right? I love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, let's continue on. So Yakov, I'm just curious. So. Did you did you ever get a new job? Let me know, buddy. Let me know in the chat. And while you were gone, Visions, Kate was very nice. She didn't have to, but I really appreciated it. She gave me my 4th super chat. So you didn't miss much, Visions. You didn't miss much. So anyway, I hope everybody's had a good weekend. Again, like I said, last night at work was an amazing night. Except for the 35-minute meeting, I didn't think we needed that, but peak season's starting. But it was really cool. It was really cool to have my manager come up, and he said, "Hey, I forgot to tell you guys because I had to retell it because I had to restart this fucking live again." He came up to me and said, "Fears, you're not in trouble." He goes, "I've been going around, giving what's the word? What the fuck is the word? Recognition, I guess, is the right word to put it." And I said, "Thanks." He goes, "You're doing a phenomenal job, Fears." And he goes, "You seem like you're in a better mood." And I said, "Yeah." And so you've heard this story, Visions, but I'll give you a 10-second version. He kind of pulled me off the line and said, "What's been going on?" I said, I try not to bring my problems to work, buddy. I'm not going to say his real name, but it was. I remember I said I have 3 managers, 1 female manager, and she's the most sweetest, nicest lady ever, and she's pretty cute too. So yeah, but it sucks that she's my boss, because if she wasn't my boss, I would totally ask her out. But since she's my boss, I don't want to mix business with pleasure. But she is the most nicest, sweetest, kindest lady ever. Then I've got 2 male managers, and they're pretty cool. So this guy is like the main guy, Or, well, he's not the main guy, but he's one of the main guys. And he works half on the floor in the factory, and then the other half, he does a shitload of paperwork in his office, So he came out and said, "Well, Fears, I've just been walking around." And he goes, "We just want to let all of our employees know that we appreciate you, we care about you." And he goes, "If we don't say it enough, thank you for all your hard work." And I was like, "Hey," I'm like, "that means a lot to me, man." And he goes, "So what's been going on?" And I said, "It's just the same old shit." And then he was like, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "We've already started." I said, "I don't want to get off the line." He's like, "No, man." He's like, "I can get somebody." So he put some girl in my place just for like 3 or 4 minutes. And he's like, "Well, the reason why we had a 30-minute meeting, do you?" I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "I know." I said, "Peak season's coming up." He goes, "Well," he goes, "You know how I usually like to keep the meetings like short and sweet?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Usually they're like 5 or 10 minutes, and then, bada bing, bada boom, we start." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, the reason why it was like 25 to 30 minutes, he goes, peak season's coming up." And I said, "Oh, yeah." And he goes, "Remember last year?" I said, "Oh, God, do I?" And he goes, the worst we ever had was 100,000. And that was like 3 days before Christmas. And I said, well, I know the reason why. And he goes, yeah. He goes, because people buy more shit, send cards, because it's Christmas. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally get it. And he goes, well, I just want to like let you and everybody else know. He goes, it's going to be even probably worse this year. He goes, like when I was doing my paperwork, he goes, they're predicting like 150,000 near Christmas. And I was like, well, I said, thanks for telling me. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm just preparing everybody. He goes, so those days you may not get out until 10:45, 11 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'm not going to say no to more hours, I said, more hours, more money, more moolah. He goes, well, I said, the only thing that I'm not looking forward to is I'll be more tired on those days. He goes, oh yeah, Fierce. He goes, that's not just for you, that's for us too. He goes, because we're managers, so sometimes we have to stay even later. So he's like, if you get out at 9 or 10, he goes, I don't leave sometimes until 10:45, 11 because I'm doing paperwork and shit. I said, oh yeah. I said, I totally get it, buddy. I totally get it. So then he was like, so what's been going on? I said, in a month, it'll be the reunion of my dad dying. And he goes, oh, is that next month? I said, yeah. I said, he died last September, So I said, I'm not looking forward to that. And I said, it doesn't get any harder, I'm sorry, it doesn't get any easier. I said, every day I miss him, and every day I miss him even more than the last fucking day, And Visions, I'm sure you can agree with me. I'm sure you miss the shit out of your dad. See, I've only heard a little bit about your dad, but from what you've told me, he seems like a pretty cool guy. Pixel, the same thing, Pixel lost his dad. I'm sure he misses his dad too, So it's weird that two of my other online friends know what the hell I'm going through. I'm sure other people know what I'm going through. So I told my boss, I said, that's been on my mind. And I said, it's just driving me nuts, and he said, well, do you try and stay busy? I said, yeah. I said, whenever I'm not working, because he knows that I do YouTube. Because one time my boss was like, hey, Fears, I checked out some of your TikToks. And in my mind, what went through Visions, I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, I try to keep that shit separate. I mean, I'm not, like, ashamed of any of my videos. But, I didn't want to say anything or do anything in a YouTube video or a live or a TikTok to jeopardize my job. And I was like, oh, yeah? I'm like, which one do you watch? He goes, you going nuts about hamburgers or something. I was like, oh, yeah. I'm like, I remember that video. And he's like, are you a fan? I said, oh, I'm a big fan of hamburgers. I love hamburgers, It's not my favorite food, but it's one of my favorite foods. And I know hamburgers aren't good for you, but sometimes I just can't resist, Anyway, so I told him about that, and then I said, I don't know too many people in Florida. I said I've got my best friend Randy, and then I said one of my friends I'm really worried about because I haven't heard anything from Sam. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, you told me about that. I said, I didn't want to go into it. I said, because I try to keep personal stuff separate from work, like most people do, And so I said, it's just so weird that he just disappeared off the face of the earth. I said, some of my friends have heard things, and I said, but nobody really knows what the hell he's going through. I said, I don't know if he lost his job. I don't know if something's going on at home because he lives with his sister, or if it's a bigger problem. And he's like, what do you think it could be? And I said, I don't know. I said, your guess is as good as mine. And he's like, my boss was like, have you tried to contact him? I said, yeah. I said, I'm really worried about him. But I said, I didn't want to get annoying. And I said, I'm sure I was annoying. I said, I tried to contact him at least 10, 20 times. I said, and it was a mixture of like phone calls, text, shit like that. And eventually I just gave up Visions. And I said, well, because I took your advice and I took Randy's advice. I said, well, I've already made an effort to reach out, and he's just not ready to talk or tell me what's going on. And I said, that's probably just getting him more annoyed. So I said, all right, I won't try to contact him. So I'm not going to contact him until like Christmas time, which I think would be the best bet. I'll like give him a call and wish him a Merry Christmas and wish his family a Merry Christmas. And hey, I hope everything goes well. And then hopefully he'll pick up the phone, and hopefully I'll be like, hey, did I do something wrong? Is it something? It may be something that's the thing that I'm worried about, Visions. I'm like, is there something that I did? Because I'm not perfect. Or is it another problem, I just wish he would call and tell me. Like, if he would have called and said, hey, Fears, like, I can't hang out for like 3 or 4 months because, you know, some shit's going on and, you know, I just need some time on myself. I would be totally fine with that, but I haven't heard anything. That's what's driving me nuts, you know? So, but people deal with things, you know, differently. People don't always handle things the way I handle it, you know, which is fine. Like, if it was me, I would just call my friend and be like, hey, you know what? I can't hang out for like 2 or 3 months because this is on my mind and this is what I'm going through, you know? But, you know, Sam's not like that, which I totally respect, you know? So, I just hope everything's okay, you know? So yeah. So I told him that was bothering me, and then I said, obviously, you know, I said, I'm getting older. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you turned 40. And I was like, yeah, soon. I said, I'm getting old, man. And then he goes, does that bother you? And I said, no. I said, getting older doesn't bother me. I said, dying alone bothers me. I said, my mom is always on my ass. Hey, when am I going to see some grandkids? I'm like, well, obviously, I'm like, you can't have grandkids, Mom, until I find a Mrs. Fears. And I said, I can't just, you know, snap my fingers. And she's like, yeah, but I want to be a grandma. I want to be a grandma someday, John. I'm like, Mom, I want you to be a grandma. I want to be a dad. I said, I want to do a good job like Dad did. I said, if not a better job than Dad did, you know. But I said, I haven't had much luck with women. And I said, the last girl I fell head over heels with, and then she kind of hurt me a lot, because you guys know some of it, but you guys don't know everything. But we're still friends. And I said, Mom, it's not for a lack of trying. And I told my boss this, and he's like, how long has it been, Fear, since you had a lady? And I looked at him, I said, a while. And he's like, I won't tell anyone. So I can't remember everything that we talked about Visions, but I kind of like summed up what was going on. I don't remember everything. I'm stretching out the conversation, Vision, but it was only like a 5 or 6 minute conversation, but I kind of gave him like a list of things that have been bothering me. And basically the list was, I hate that my dad died and I miss the shit out of him. And I hate that I haven't made a lot of friends down here. And I'm worried about Sam. And I try and go out as much as I can, you know, but after work I get really, you know, exhausted. And I said, and depression. And so he goes, yeah, I haven't seen you upload a video in a while. I said, that's the reason. So it was a mixture of like those 5 things, Vision. So I didn't mean to make it a long, drawn out answer. And once someone's depressed, it takes me a while to get undepressed. Now this new shit with Pixel, so that'll probably make me even more depressed. So I don't know. So yeah. Vision says, it's not pretty to think about. Yeah, it isn't. It isn't, you know. We can both look past Vince's demons and enjoy the matches. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, obviously I don't condone his actions, because raping someone is fucking terrible. Besides pedophilia, you know, shit, like Mcmahon, it's pretty much the second worst thing. Well, I mean, if you kill someone, that's probably the worst thing ever, but it's on the list of horrible, horrible things that people shouldn't do, you know? And when probably Pixel was half joking, but that's not something that you joke around about. And that rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm like, why is he starting shit? I'm just trying to have a cool, chill night, a cool, chill Friday night, chilling with my friends online, chilling with the fans, you know? And I'm just like, so now I feel bad that I had to block Pixel for a while, but on the other hand, I don't feel bad, because I'm like, he's got to learn. He's got to learn that he can't just do and say whatever the hell he wants, ruin my life. And it doesn't just go for him. It goes for anyone, you know? So it just is what it is. So sometimes you can't win. Sometimes you can't, like, you have to stick up for yourself. I don't know. It's a whole world of shit, you know? Vision says, hell yeah, congrats. I appreciate that, buddy. Doing not too bad, you know? I've only been monetized, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that? And so far, 4 super chats. Oh, actually, I don't know if, hang on, let me scroll back up. I don't know if Kate's was a sticker or if it was a super chat. I don't really know. It doesn't really tell you. It just says Fangirl Kate, $1.99, and then she says, for not giving up, and coming back for your fans. Peace and love, Fears. Because she did the prayer side, and then she did the heart. It doesn't. I wish it would tell you if it's a super chat or if it's a super sticker. Again, I kind of don't. I'm learning as I go, but whatever it was, Kate, I appreciate it. So 4 so far visions, not too bad, not too bad. So yeah, and I hope you guys have enjoyed somewhat of this live. I know some of it was kind of bad, because I'm not in the best of moods since that shit happened. And I'll be honest, Visions, I almost didn't come back. But I was like, well, I was really looking forward to hanging out with the fans on a Friday night, starting the weekend off, right? And obviously it didn't start off good. So I'm trying to salvage it. So, because again, my intention is never to offend anyone. My intention is I don't want to block people. I don't want to put people in timeout. I only do it when I have to. When they say ridiculous things. I mean, really ridiculous things. I mean, if it's just a tiny little stupid comment, then I usually let it die. But if it's something very hurtful or something evil or something that's not true about me, then I know between a good fan and a loving and loyal fan and just some idiot saying some evil shit. So, and I want this to be a place where everyone can get along, have fun, just chill out. Forget about your daily problems and just hang out with Fears and chill and have a good life. That's pretty much, that's always my intentions. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. So I'm not perfect. I know you guys aren't perfect, so I always try and do my best. I really do. I really do. So, and maybe after a month or two after I cool down, maybe I won't wait 6 months and maybe I'll let Pixel come back. But for now, I just don't want people to bring it up. I won't bring it up anymore. Let the dust settle, and maybe in a month or two, maybe I'll think about bringing him back. I just don't want him doing that crazy shit because he's been doing it for a while. Like a couple weeks ago, he was saying like creepy comments in the chat. I'm like, this is ridiculous, ridiculous. Anyway. Let's see. I don't see the birthmark. Must be an AI Fierce. Triple, you and this AI shit. I love it. I love it. What's up, Triple? Good to see you, Pretend Stories. It's been a while. Good to see you. Well, thank God you showed up now, Pretend Stories, because you missed a whole world of crazy shit that I won't go into because I'm tired of talking about it. But there we are. All right, Yakov, let's get back on point. Top 10 Star Trek episodes. Again, I'm only going to pick from the TV shows that I've watched all the way through. Because I haven't watched all the way through Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Strange Worlds, Lower Decks, and Discovery. So, number one. Probably, I forgot what the episode is called, Yakov, but the episode where Kirk and Spock have to time travel to set things right. McCoy got, injected with some crazy, medicine and made him go stare crazy, and he jumps through this time portal, changes a whole bunch of shit in history, and then after he jumps the time portal, they're like, well, shit, Starfleet doesn't even exist anymore. What the fuck? What the hell happened, So they have to go back and, set things right, and when they get back, it's like nothing ever happened and things are back to normal. That's a great episode. That's in season 1, and it's one of the last few episodes of season 1 out of the original Star Trek. So that's number 1. Number 2 would probably be when, I don't remember the name of it, when Captain Kirk meets Zephyrin Cochrane for the very first time. That's a cool episode, and that is in season 2, I believe. So that's number 2. Number 3 would be the first episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Farpoint. That's a great episode. It's a 2-hour show. It debuts the show. and it introduces all the main characters. It's a great episode. It's amazing. If you guys have never seen Farpoint out of season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation, watch it. It's so good. So good. So good. And then, so that's number 3. And number 4 would probably be, I think this is in season 4 of Next Gen. I love Data's Day. That's a great one. That's number 4. Number 5 would be Booby Trap out of number 3, out of season 3. Number 6 would be from season 1, I believe, where it's that species, Yakov, that has like a computer like stuck in their brain, and they can't live without the big computer on their home planet, and then the computer somehow shuts down, and then they have to steal the Enterprise to store all of the knowledge and all the information from that computer for them to reboot their computer in order for their like civilization to keep on living. That's a great episode, and it's just like, it's a bunch of numbers, the title of the episode. It's like 101001010, because they don't have names. They're not a boy, they're not a girl. It's their species is listed as 0, 1, or 10. So yeah, and every single species has that. You're either 0, 1, or 10. So yeah, that's a great episode. So that would be number 6. Number 5. Number 6, definitely my favorite episode in Deep Space Nine, Yakov. It's without a doubt my favorite episode, because there's only a couple episodes that I like in Deep Space Nine. Nothing against Yakov. Yakov loves Deep Space Nine. It's okay. It's all right. It's just not as good as Voyager or Next Gen. My favorite episode is Trials and Tribulations. That one has tribbles in it. Like, it's one of the, like, they're the most craziest animals in the old Star Trek and in the new Star Trek, because they bring the tribbles back in like later seasons of Star Trek, not just the original series, but they started in the original series. And it's another time travel episode. The time travel episodes are always good, so that's number 6. Number 7 would be in Voyager. Oh god, there's so many. It's hard to do a top 10. I don't know if I'll get them all in there, but I'll do my best. In Voyager, there's so many good episodes of Voyager, but probably number 7 would be, it's the first episode in season 2 where they find an old like truck from like the 1930s, and then they find out that it was like Amelia Earhart's truck, and Amelia Earhart, like, she didn't die, from her plane crash. Like, she was abducted by aliens, and so they have to find out what really happened. So that's a great episode. So that's number 7. Number 8 would probably be another episode from Voyager. The pilot from Voyager is phenomenal. And I forgot the name of the pilot, but the very first episode is without a doubt one of my favorites out of Voyager. So that's definitely number 8. And then number 9 and number 10, Star Trek Enterprise. Those are missions from like the very first, like Jonathan Archer, he's the very first one before Kirk to ever pilot a starship. And Zephyrin Cochrane and Jonathan Archer's dad created the Warp 5 engine. So my favorite episode probably from Enterprise, that's number 9, is probably, it's called Carpenter Street, and that's another time travel episode. And then number 10, God, this is so hard. These are just some. I may have to do a top 20, but these are some of just it's hard to like narrow it down to just top 10. But I'm doing my best though. Probably the 10th one would be probably the last episode in Star Trek The Next Generation, and it's called All Things Must Come to an End. That's a good one too. So yeah. Yo, Kate, welcome back. Pretend Story says, what's going on? Oh, I don't want to go through it again, Pretend Stories, because I've already told Visions and everybody else 2 times now what happened. Let's just put it this way. A whole world of shit happened that didn't need to fucking happen. Period. So yeah. That's just how it goes, right? So that was hard, man. That was hard to do a top 10. But, so Yakov, I hope you approve. Hope you approve. All right. Next on the list. Art that I'm proud of. I've been wanting to tell you guys about this. So I haven't created like art in quite a while. The last art I did was the painting that me and Casey did together on one of our dates. But I thought it would be a cool topic to talk about. I used to create a lot of art back in the day. So yeah. Joker. I'm in a world of shit. What movie does he... Now, Visions, what movie... Before I go on to the next topic, what movie is that from? Is it from the television show? Is it from a movie? I just can't remember what that's from. Anyway, let me know. Oh, Visions. I forgot to tell you. I don't know if you saw it. Fears is going to watch this tonight. So we're going to review this tomorrow. So if you want to watch it, this is your homework assignment for tonight. I'm going to sit down and finally watch this. I was supposed to watch this a few nights ago, but Fears was so exhausted from work. I pretty much stuck it in. It started playing Visions, and then Fears' eyes went from this, like watching it intently, to that. And then I fell asleep, and then that was the end of it, you know. That was in Full Metal Jacket? I'm trying to remember what episode that was from. I've seen Full Metal Jacket. That's a great movie. I just don't remember what scene that's from. I'll have to Google it. I don't remember. Let's see. I think it's from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. No, it's not, Triple. No, it's not. I know for a fact it's not from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. I know it's not from that. You're fucking hilarious, Triple. Hey, it's from Willy Wonka, you know? Well, obviously they wouldn't curse in Willy Wonka, buddy. So, yeah. I actually prefer the 70s movie of Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory, because it's half a movie, half a musical. And one of my favorite characters, I think Grandpa Joe, he was in the Poseidon Adventure. That guy's a great... He's been long passed away because I think he was like 63, I think, when he filmed Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I don't remember that guy's real name, but he played Grandpa Joe. And then he was in the Poseidon Adventure, and he was even older in that movie. That guy was a great fucking actor. So, and I've always been keen to musicals, you know, because I went to film school. I appreciate musicals. That one's kind of a musical and kind of not, you know. But the Johnny Depp one, that's not too bad. The Johnny Depp one's all right. So yeah. I mean, it's not that I don't like the Johnny Depp one. I mean, Johnny Depp's a great actor. Just yeah. Anyway. So Yakov, what did you think of my top 10 Star Trek episodes? It was hard to hone it down to 10, but I tried to get a few of my favorite out of each one. But there's way more episodes than that are my favorite, you know. But yeah. Recently I've been watching Strange Worlds. But the new shows, now that MASH is done, because MASH was not 1 season, not 2 seasons, but 11 fucking seasons. That is a great old-fashioned show. So yeah. But the next one is, I used to watch Little House on the Prairie with my grandma. That's a great, good old... They don't make TV shows like that. There's not one bad episode so far of Little House on the Prairie. It's good old-fashioned TV that mom, dad, your brother, your sister can sit around the TV, and I used to watch it with my family. You know, it's a great family show. And they don't make shows like that. Today, now a lot of TV shows is about sex, drugs, violence, killing people, going ballistic, you know, drug dealers, and That's why I don't like a lot of new. Like I've said a million times before. The reason why I liked Gotham, that's the last show that's the last newest show I've watched, is it was not reality, it was fantasy. And I'm like, oh, well, who doesn't like fucking Batman? I love Batman, you know? You know, I love Batman. So I just think they put more effort into the older shows, you know? Like even the new MacGyver, it's good, but it's not as good as the, because I have been enjoying the new version of MacGyver, the one that they made in 2016. I'm on season 3, so I'm almost done with MacGyver. So probably the next TV shows that I'll review for you guys are Little House on the Prairie and MacGyver. Those are the two that I'm watching right now. Because again, the new MacGyver, it's good, but it's not as good as the original. The original, Richard Dean Anderson's performance of MacGyver is fucking mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. The new guy that plays it, he's good. He's all right, and he's funny. But he's not a Richard Dean Anderson. That guy was perfect. And then before he did MacGyver, Yakov and Visions, he was on, what was that old fucking TV show that he was on? He did it right before MacGyver. I've never seen it. I've heard of it. I've seen it. I'm sorry. I have seen a couple episodes. I haven't seen it all the way through. General Hospital. He was on General Hospital. So, yeah. Yakov said it was a perfect 10. Oh, well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Yakov said you should get Lassie. That's another one on the list. That's another good old-fashioned show. What, Lassie? Timmy's, stuck in the abandoned mine shaft? Oh, shit, we better get old man Henry to help us out and get him out of that mine shaft, you know? It was hilarious. That show was great back in the day, you know? I always got a kick out of that show, Yakov, because, they would talk to the dog, and I'm like, it's a dog. A dog cannot talk. But then you watch that old Mr. Ed, TV show. Mr. Ed actually talked to his owner, you know? So yeah, so one day I will get all the seasons of Lassie, because I remember watching that show with my grandma too. I watched a lot of these old TV shows on Nick at Night and through reruns. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's get back to the topic. So when I was younger, I had a lot more opportunities to make art. My very first art class, I think I was like 3rd or 4th grade. And then in high school, I did a bunch of art classes. And then my senior year of college, they said, Fears, they said, you've finished all the requirements for your degrees. They said, really? They said, your senior year, you could take off. So I did all of my stuff in 3 years. And they said, if you didn't want to come and just wait for graduation, you can. I said, me and my parents paid for all 4 years. And they said, well, if you want to take some extra credit, you can. So they said, if you ever want to get your master's degree, you can, all the classes you take your senior year, you can add that on. So I just took a bunch of painting classes my senior year. So yeah. So I took 3 or 4 painting classes, and I took some more editing classes my senior year. So I would like to paint more whenever I have some time. I thought about doing a painting stream. So if you guys would want me to do that, I could probably do that. I need to buy a stand, and I need to buy some paint, and whatever that thing is that you hold. You put your thumb through it and you put the paint on it. And then you go I forgot what it's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't have any of that stuff, so but anyway. But I just thought I would talk about some of my famous art that I created, that I'm very proud of. The very first thing that I can remember doing, I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and the teacher said, I want you to pull out a piece of paper in your sketch pad, and she goes, I want you to look down at the floor, and she goes, I want you to draw. She goes, you can either pick your left foot or your right foot, and I want you to draw your foot. And she goes, you can either take off your shoe and take off your sock and draw your foot. She goes, or you can keep your shoe on. And I decided to keep my shoe on, and I remember I did this detailed drawing. Since I'm left-handed, I did my left foot. And I've still got the drawing. It's in my sketch pad back in Missouri. And I drew this amazing detail photo of my left foot. And I don't remember what grade I got, but I know I got a pretty good grade. And then the second thing that I remember doing in that art class was, it was hard to do. Like, you know how like in the olden days people like drew like I'm sorry, they didn't draw. They wrote with a quill. That was the first time. I remember my teacher brought out and said, "Let's just see how good your writing is." And it took forever to do that writing, Visions and Yakov and everybody else, because when you write with a quill, every couple of seconds you have to dab the quill in the ink. So it took me probably a minute to write John Fears with a quill, because I would draw J-O and then I would run out of ink on the quill, and then I'd have to dab it again. So it took me about a minute. So even though it was a hard thing to do, writing with a quill, and I wrote this beautiful letter, and she goes, "You can write," she goes, "the assignment is you can write whatever you want," but she goes, "I want you to write an old-fashioned letter with a quill and write to someone." She goes, "You can write to a teacher, you can write to a friend, you can write to a family member." I don't remember who I wrote to, but I remember I wrote it, and then she had those old envelopes that would be sealed with like hot candle wax, Visions. And so it was like an old ass letter. And I think I wrote, I'm trying to remember, I think I wrote to my mom or my dad. I think. I honestly don't remember who I wrote to, but I think it was those. I'm about 90%. But anyway, it doesn't matter who I really wrote to. Even though that was like one of the hardest things I've ever done, at least in the art world, it was really gratifying when I got done with that letter. That letter was really, and she goes, "Oh, you have beautiful penmanship, Fears." And I said, Yakov said I wrote to him. Well, there it is. There it is. Vision says, "I love those types of pens." Dude, writing with a quill, Visions, that is some hard shit. Because literally, picture this, this is my chip, clipper. So I was eating some chips while I was editing. You guys know, I've said this before, it's good, but it's bad. I love munching on snacks while I edit. I've been trying to lose weight. Hilarious. But I love to sip on my coffee. Fears is happy. I'm sitting right here on the floor. I've got my coffee off to the right. I've got my snacks, and I'm editing away. And I was editing before this, but I'm telling you, Visions, picture this as my quill, right? A little Fears like at 9 or 10 years old in an art class. And I have my ink over here, right? And this was back in the day when Fears had 0 to no patience. So picture Fears. I'd be writing, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, I need some more ink. So I'm like, right. Literally 2 seconds, and then you're out of ink. Dab it. So even though it took me forever to do that letter, it was amazing. It was amazing. And it definitely helped me with my patience. But I remember it clear as day, the teacher came over and she goes, "Wow, John," she goes, "even though you took a long time like everybody else," she goes, "you've got great penmanship." And I said, "Oh," and I don't remember her name. It started with an F, though. It was Mrs. I think her name was Mrs. Feasbley. I think that's how you say her name. She had a hard last name to say. It was Feasbley. I think that's what her name was. I don't recall, but she was one of the most nicest teachers that I've ever had, Visions. And even if you did something bad, she would like make you feel better. Like she would come up and say, "Well, even though like your project didn't come out the way you wanted," she goes, "at least," she goes, "I appreciate your effort." So she was a really nice. She's probably retired now, because I was like 8 or 9 in this art class, but and it was in elementary school, but she was a very nice teacher. So that's the second thing I was proud of. The third thing, obviously, is one of Fears' favorite creations that you guys know. Without that art class, there would be no Fears Man. I remember she came in, she goes, "All right, time to get creative." And she goes, the next project, she goes, "I want you to get out your sketch pads, I want you to get out your pencils and your colored pencils." She goes, "You'll be graded on creativity, the backstory, the superpowers, and she goes, I want you to make your own superhero. She goes, it can be a guy's superhero, it can be a female superhero, and then I remember her saying, hell, it can even be like, like Superman's dog, Crypto. She goes, it can be an animal with superpowers. She goes, go nuts, do whatever the hell you want. She goes, you have to be graded on creativity. The superhero has to have a backstory. He has to have a costume. He has to have powers, all that stuff. So without that art class, there would be no Fears Man. And back then, Fears, not much has changed since Fears was a wee little lad to now. I loved making people laugh. And I remember I sat there, Visions, I'm like, I want to make the most hilarious, disgusting superhero, because that's when the Crohn's shit started coming in, I was born with it. It started very early. So my friends knew sometimes Fears would let out a burp. I'd let out a plutonic, toxic fart that could kill people instantly. So yeah. So whenever I come to visit you, Visions, Fears has got to hone in and either not fart or not destroy your toilet. Fingers crossed. So yeah. So I remember sitting there, and my friend was like, "Hey, Fears." My friend was sitting right by me, and he goes, "Hey, Fears, this is what I'm going to do with my superhero." And I was like, "That's cool, man. That's awesome." And he's like, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I've got some plans, buddy." I remember saying that, and I said, "I don't want to reveal it until I have to stand up and, tell it to the class." So, yeah. So I instantly started drawing, and back then, Fears Man had orange, blue, yellow, and red. And then I honed it down to just blue and yellow. But he started off with orange because I love Halloween, and red for Superman, and yellow and blue for Superman. And I always knew it was going to be a total rip-off version of half Fears' stuff in my life and half Superman, because Superman's my all-time favorite. I mean, besides Fears Man. Fears Man and Superman are my all-time two favorite superheroes of all time. They always will be. And I remember Randall saying, "Well, Fears, what about Batman?" I'm like, I love Batman. Yeah. Just Batman in my eyes. Batman's cool, but really, technically, he's like the Punisher. He doesn't have any superpowers. I guess his only power is that he has a shitload of money to buy the gadgets, That's about it. Because without his money, he couldn't be Batman, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with Iron Man. Iron Man's the shit. Iron Man is amazing, But you take away his suit and Tony Stark's money, and he's not a superhero. But I love Iron Man. I actually prefer Iron Man over Batman. I like Batman, but I prefer Iron Man over Bruce Wayne and Batman and shit. So I told Randall Yakov, I was like, Randall, there's nothing against Batman. I like Batman. Batman's cool, He's got a cool suit. I'm not going to deny the fucking Batmobile. The Batmobile is the shit, because Superman, he doesn't have a Batmobile, or he doesn't have a Superman-mobile because he doesn't really need one. He just flies around and shit, But anyway, that's the third thing that I'm proud of. One of the best pieces of art I've ever made is Fears Man. And you guys know how near and dear Fears Man is to my heart, He's great. He's great. I remember sitting there. I could actually hear him, Visions, say, "Fears, create me. You must create me. Add in a yellow suit, give me a fucking cape, give me a fucking thing over my eyes and shit, to cover my eyes." And I remember I was deep in thought, and then I remember clear as day, my friend tapped me and was like, "Fears, you're really getting into this project." I was like, "Oh man," I said, I'm honed in. Because you guys know, once I've got an idea, one of the best things about Fears is, once I got an idea, I don't give up on it. I do it to the fucking max. And my friend could tell that I was really enjoying this project. And I looked at it and I said, "Hey man," I said, "I'm not going to talk much." I said, "I'm going to focus on his backstory." And the only thing I regret, though, Visions, is I remember when I stood up, I didn't have his backstory all the way. I kind of gave a short version. Whenever me and Randall created the cartoon, I was like, "Randall, I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I only gave a few little things." Because I remember I had to write on a piece of paper his backstory. And she said, it has to be 1,000 words or more. So mine was like right at, like, I went up to the teacher and I was like, I don't have much. And she goes, well, just write as much as you can, John. And I said, okay. Because I only had a couple ideas. I knew that he was going to come from another planet. And thank God me and Randall came up with something better. Like, Chronopolis was me and Randall. It was more Randall, though. He was like, Fears, he goes, I remember you saying when you were a kid, it was, I named it Cryptopia, you know? So, and I was like, yeah. I said, what do you think about that, Randall? He's like, yeah. He's like, Fears, it just needs something else. We need something more. And I said, yeah, you're right. Cryptopia. It's catchy, but it's not as catchy as Chronopolis, you know. So I remember when I stood up, and I'm trying to do this by memory. What I really said was, I don't remember everything I said, Vision, but I said something to the effect of, not a lot of people know much about Fears Man. I said he crashed land, in St. Louis, like in 1983, like when I was born. And I said his backstory is filled with mystery and shit, and then she's like, well, what else, Fears? I said, well, he comes from a distant planet, way off into the galaxy and shit, and she goes, what's the name of his planet? I said, it's called Cryptopia. And so everyone started to laugh, and I said, he's friends with Superman. Sometimes they get along, sometimes they don't get along. Fears Man feels like Superman has totally ripped him off of everything, So that was always in there. That was always like, Fears Man was mad. Or not mad, he was just like, what the hell, you stealing all my ideas, Superman? Oh, my costume looks almost the exact same as yours. Don't you have your own fucking brain, and stuff? But then, what really got her going, Visions, that's when I started talking about all the disgusting stuff. I was like, Fears Man, when he needs to rip a fart like no other fart, he doesn't hold back. And then she's like, excuse me? I said, oh yeah. I said, flatulence is one of his powers. The power of flatulence. Yeah, smell my stench, you fuckers. I didn't say that, but I remember I put that line in there. Yeah, smell my stench. And everyone started laughing. I looked up. I was laughing. I was giggling. And then, and so I've added more powers to Fears Man as the years have went by. But I remember the four main powers when I first made him was super strength, the power of flight. He could fly around. The power of flagellance. And then, what was the other one? Hang on. Super strength, flying, the power of flagellance. Oh, and then the power of fear. Like he could use his fear. And she did like that one. She goes, oh, that's interesting. And I said, yeah, I decided to use my own name. I said, because everyone loves my last name. Everyone thinks it's a creative name. And I said, I just lucked out on having a cool name, And she goes, well, Fears, I remember her saying something like, well, Fears, I know how much your family means to you. I said, yeah. I said, that's another reason why I named him Fears Man. And she goes, I think out of all his powers, she goes, I think the fear one, she goes, I think that's the most creative one. And she said, because I remember I went second to last. I was like one of the last few people. I wanted to be last to end on a funny note, but she picked somebody else before me. But I remember her saying, out of all the characters, yours is one of the most creative, Fears. And she goes, everyone will agree with you, Fears. She goes, having the power of fear is like one of the most creative powers out of everyone's superhero. And I said, oh, cool. And I remember class was like getting out. So I didn't have much when I created Fears Man. I just had little snippets here and there because I've added a lot as the years have went by. Like every couple of years, I'm like, you know what? I'll add this to him. I'll add this to him. Oh, I'll steal that from that superhero. Now he's got a whole bunch of powers. Now he's got like the power of fear, flagellance, super strength, flying. I added where he can shoot the yellow laser beams like out of his eyes like Superman. Me and Randall added like mind control and shit. And then, I'm sorry, not mind control. Me and Randall in an episode, not only can he shoot laser beams out of his eyes, but there's one episode where he like vaporized somebody because he had like a laser beam come out of his finger. So I said, hey, Randall, let's do something different. Obviously, a lot of superheroes have lasers come out of his eyes, but I said, let's have lasers come out of his eyes and out of his fingers. And then Randall was like, what, kind of like the Emperor out of Star Wars? I was like, yeah, kind of like him, except his will be obviously yellow, because my two favorite colors are blue and yellow. So I didn't have everything, but I pretty much had like little snippets. I had enough to get an A on the project. But I'm telling you, Yakov and Visions, the best part was it was getting towards the end of class. She goes, Fears, can I see you outside? And she was like, I'm concerned. And I was like, yeah, why is that? And she's like, well, some parts of your character are kind of disturbing. Or she said something like that. I said, oh, yeah, like what? And she goes, do you think it's appropriate to have him farting and shitting and throwing up and stuff? And I was like, yeah. I said, that's funny. And she goes, yeah, but she goes, in one picture, you've got him throwing up on a doorknob. I said, yeah. I said, you know why? I said, because his throw up is like acid. And like, and I said, in one episode, I said, he's lost his powers. He's lost his strength. So he can't bust his way through the door. So he throws up on the lock and basically burns the fucking lock off. And then he kicks the door down. And she's like, do you think that's appropriate? I said, no, it's not, but I think it's pretty funny. She's like, I'm just concerned. She's like, I think you need to hone it back a little bit. And I was like, well, that's what Fears Man's all about. He's all about good times, good tunes, having fun. He may not be the best superhero, but, you know, he sure gives it the old college try. And then she's like, yeah, but she's like, does he have to be that hilarious and that disgusting? I said, absolutely. And I said, I got an A, didn't I? She goes, I will admit, she goes, that was very creative. And I said, hell yeah. So it all worked out. So I was very proud of inventing Fears Man. He's one of the best pieces of art that I've ever created. And he will always be near and dear to my heart. So yeah. All right, let me get back to the comments before I continue on. Let's see. Triple says, nah, Fears, Mr. Ed didn't talk. They put peanut butter on his gums to make him move his... Well, obviously I knew that, Triple. But in the show, he's one of the animals that talked. And a guy standing off to the side did his voice. Well, yeah, I know. Obviously I know a horse can't really talk, buddy. Vision says, I love those types of pens. Yeah, they're cool, Visions, but man, writing with a quill is hard. Damn, that was really hard to do. Yakov says, I use a fountain pen all the time. Is that what they're called? Yakov, I didn't know the official term, because I remember my art teacher said, I remember she said a quill, because a quill is like it's a feather, basically, off of a turkey or a hen or something like that, and then they scrape down the bottom of it to make it into a point like a pencil, and then you just dip the ink in it. But I didn't know that it was called a fountain pen. But she called it a quill. I guess that means the same thing. Vision says, did you get poked in the eye? No, but I'm telling you, it took me quite a long time, buddy, to figure out how to use that quill because it requires so much ink. Like I said, like she goes, just start out with something simple. She goes, before you write your letters, she goes, just try and write your name. It took me like almost a minute to 2 minutes to write John Fears. Because I remember I dipped it in and I wrote J-O. And by the time I got to O, going into H, I was already out of ink. And I was like, really? I'm like, I've only been writing for 2 seconds. So I went like that and dipped in the ink. And then I continued on. And then I had to go and do it again and again. So it took a while to write my name. And then to write a whole letter took me at least an hour or two. It was ridiculous. So for like somebody like... Charles Dickens that always wrote with a quill to write an entire book, that must have took him freaking ages to do. You know what I'm saying? Yakov says, I prefer Batman and Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man's cool. I like Spider-Man. You know, yeah, speaking of Spider-Man, Yakov, someone told me, I did not know this until I watched the trailer. Oh, when did I watch that? probably, it's been a couple of months. I don't know if I did it on camera or by myself. I had no idea they made a 60s, 70s version of Spider-Man, and he had like a yellow belt buckle with a white belt around him with his red and blue suit, and instead of like webbing, it shot out white rope out of his little things. But they did a 70s version of it, and I looked. You can buy the actual 70s versions of Spider-Man, like the whole complete series, and I was like, well, one of those days. They don't. I don't think they have it on Blu-ray, but you can definitely get it on DVD. And I looked it up, and it wasn't too much, so I was like, I would love to watch the original, like 70s series, and do a review on it. I said, and I watched a couple episodes of it. Yakov on, because they have a couple of free episodes on YouTube. And I was like, well, even though it's super 70s and it's super cheesy, it was actually not too bad. So, but I had no idea. Somebody told me about it. I don't remember who told me about it, because I had no idea. I knew they did like a 60s Batman, and then they did a couple of like they had a 50s version of Superman with George Reeves, and then they had like a 40 in the 1940s. They made a couple of Batman movies that were like super racist, according to Randall. Randall said he watched it, and then I watched a couple of them on YouTube, and Batman was calling like Chinese people like crazy words, and he was calling black people crazy words, but it was okay to do that in the 40s. Obviously, it's not okay, but people thought it was okay to do it in the 40s, and I was like, oh, shit. So it was very controversial, you know? But I didn't know that they made a 70s version of it. So, yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Good vibes now. Yeah, we're getting back to some pretty cool vibes, Pretend Stories. That's how it should have happened in the first place. But, of course, you know, people got to start some shit for no apparent reason. So, yeah. What are you going to do? And then everybody clapped. Yeah? Oh, yeah, Yakov. Everyone loved Fears, man. I got a standing ovation. Well, I almost got a standing ovation. Some people stood, some people sat down, but everyone thought it was funny, clever, and I got an A on it. So, yeah. I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom, but you guys just go ahead and study this amazing mug that Vision's made for me. And if you want this mug, go to exhumvisions.com. So I'm going to use the restroom, and you guys just study Randall. Look how amazing Randall looks. Randall's a good guy. He's a very good guy. So I'll be back. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. Cheers. All right, moving right along here. All right, the fourth piece of art that I'm really proud of, Visions, is I think this was like in middle school sometime, and I was in another art class, and they said the project is we're going to take some clay, and we started with a plastic face. So there was a plastic face, and they said, we want you to put clay on the plastic face and make your own mask. She goes, it can be any mask that you want. And she said, then we're going to put it in an oven. And I don't know how they did it. I don't remember how the process worked, but they said you start putting the clay on a plastic mask. And then they said once that clay goes into the oven, I guess the plastic dissolves or something. I can't remember how it went. And they said when it's all done, just the mask will be there. They said we put it in an oven and it hardens the clay. And my idea right off the bat was, because I think in middle school was when Jim Carrey's The Mask came out, and I said I would love to recreate the green mask out of out of the mask. So, and it was pretty simple. I was like, it's a green mask with a piece of wood on the nose, with 3 metal circles on the wood, and then there's like cracks all the way down on the green mask. So I remember I put the clay on, and then I took a pencil and I just drew lines all the way down to make it look like the mask was cracking, like the mask in the movie. And then I took a whole bunch of clay and made it, and I made a little square and put it on the nose. And then I took like 3 little balls of clay, I guess for the nails, and I put that. So yeah, and then when it hardened, she said, then you can paint it any way you want it. So obviously mine was only 3 colors. The gold was for the gold nails, and then brown was for the piece of wood, and then I painted it green. And she goes, oh, she goes, that's really creative, John. She goes, do you like The Mask, the movie? I said, I love Jim Carrey. I said, any movies that he's in, I love it. So this one was it was either middle school or 9th grade. I can't remember, but it was around there, because that's when that movie came out. I don't remember exactly when The Mask came out, but so that one I'm really proud of, that piece of art. And it came out, it's in, and it looks almost exactly like the one out of The Mask. So yeah, so maybe one day I'll show you guys that once I get a bigger place. Because once I get a bigger place, I'm gonna dig out all my old art projects and put them on the wall or put them on a shelf or something like that. I'm just giving you guys the highlights of the art. And then another one I did in middle school. She said the only requirement, it has to be a piece of land, like a landscape. And I remember I drew mountains in the back and then a river coming down from the mountains, and the river had one of those old-fashioned bridges that go across like that. And then on the right, I put a farmhouse with a little. Since I'm from Missouri, I thought, oh well, that would be appropriate. I'm like a farmhouse, so I put a farmhouse, and then with a little like gate. I'm sorry, a little fence all the way around the farmhouse. That one I was pretty proud of. That was in 8th or 9th grade. And then I'm really proud of the painting that me and Casey did. I've shown you guys the one of the crow. You know, so I'm definitely proud of that one. Because we went to that. It was like, that was probably that's probably my second favorite date I've ever done with someone. The best date I've ever been on was me and Casey's first date, where we were at the pool and we were drinking, and then she ordered pizza, and let's just say we had a great night. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. That's probably my favorite date ever. But the second date, I mean, the date that almost beats that one is when me and her went like painting, because there was supposed to be a lot of people in the class, and then almost everybody canceled the class, and the person that was going to teach the class said, oh well, I was about to cancel the class, and Casey said, can me and my boyfriend still do it even though everybody else canceled? She goes, sure. She goes, it'll just be you guys. I actually preferred that, because I'm like, well, this is more romantic. Now we've got the whole art room to ourselves, and we got to drink wine while we were painting. So far, those 2 dates are untoppable. Whenever I get with somebody new, hopefully I can out-top that one, but those 2 dates are pretty hard to top, you know? So doing that painting, and we did the exact, so she did her own version of that painting, and then I did my own version of that painting, but it was she goes, what type of painting? And she goes, well, since John's birthday's around Halloween, she's like, can we do something Halloween-y? She goes, I've got a perfect painting in mind. She goes, we're going to paint a crow on top of a skull. And I said, oh, that's very Halloween-y. I thought we were going to do something like a jack-o'-lantern, but I was like, that's kind of cool. It's not the traditional Halloween stuff, a skeleton, a pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern, all that crap. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So that one I'm very proud of. And then I'm going to end with 2 last art ones that I'm most proud of. I'm very proud of it was I made this is another one that I made out of clay. It was around Mother's Day, and this is back in like elementary school. She said, I want you to make something. She goes, I want you to make the best Mother's Day present out of clay. And I had 2 attempts. The first attempt was horrible. I thought, well, I said, my mom's from England. I'll make her a little teapot out of clay. And she goes, John, she goes, if you put warm liquid in that clay, she goes, it'll probably crack. And I was like, damn, I said, I wanted to make my mom a teapot that she could use because my mom's from England. And she goes, it was a nice gesture. She goes, how about a nice vase that your mom can put flowers in? I went, oh, there you go. So I remember I made this real tall. It was probably as tall as this, Visions. It was probably about that tall and maybe about that wide around. And I just made these big circles like this out of clay, and I just kept putting circles on top of each other until it made this long vase. So it started off with like a big wide base like this, and then it came up thin like this. So, and when it was done, it was about that tall and about that wide, and my mom still has it to this day. It's somewhere in storage, but she loved it. Like when I presented it to her on Mother's Day, she was like, you made this? And I was like, yeah. I said, do you like it? She goes, I love it. And I was like, I'm glad you like it, Mom. So, yeah. That one I was really proud of. And then the last one that I'm really proud of is, it was another drawing. She said, I want you to make a monster. And so I did a zombie version, Visions, of Fears Man. So I had, like, snot coming out of, like, Fears Man's nose. And then I did kind of like, I did some scars like Frankenstein. I did stitches all over his face. And then I did like creepy crawlers like in his hair. And I had like green liquid coming out of his mouth. So I did a zombie version of Fears Man. That one I'm really proud of. That one was fucking hilarious. So yeah. So all right, those are like some of the, I mean, there's other art that I'm pretty proud of, but those are just a few that I'm quite proud of. All right. Triple says, need that first cheeseburger vlog, Fears. Gotta have it. Oh, what? Me trying a cheeseburger, Triple? I don't know, Triple. My stomach's been all right for a while. I don't know if it's like, after that surgery, I can have certain cheeses and milk now. Well, I don't know about milk. I haven't tested the waters on milk, but there's certain cheeses I can eat that don't hurt. But you never know. Maybe I'll try a cheeseburger. I just don't. If it goes south, then I'm gonna be in pain for days, Triple. So I don't know. We'll see. But I would love to have a cheeseburger again. I miss cheeseburgers a lot. I mean, I know it's just one extra ingredient, but I used to fucking love cheeseburgers as a kid. And I haven't had a cheeseburger since I was, oh God, 7, 8. So yeah. I got you, Triple. Triple's like saying cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. We'll see. We shall see. All right. Well, it's getting pretty late. So to end the stream, I'm going to review the wrestling DVD that I got on my trip. I bought this, let's see, how long ago was my trip? I was there for 14 days, but the trip was about, a month and a half ago. The trip was amazing. I got to see tons of friends, tons of family. Went to my cousin's wedding. I caught the garter at my cousin's wedding. So you know Fears is going to get married one of these days. And that was the 5th garter I've ever caught in my life. I didn't get to everything. I didn't get to go down to the arch like I always do. And I didn't get to go to Johnny Brock's Halloween shop that I always go to. You guys have seen that countless times in the vlogs. And then, but I got to a lot of stuff. Just not everything. That'll give me something to look forward to on next trip. But anyway, I made 2 trips to V-Stock Visions, and you guys saw it from the streams. I bought a shitload of DVDs and Blu-rays there. A lot of them. This was one of them. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. the stuff that I actually liked more, I actually liked the second disc more. The first disc is kind of boring. I mean, it wasn't boring. It just is. The first disc, it comes in 2 discs, so you open it up like this. And it's got a bunch of pictures and stuff of like The Rock and Triple H and Vince McMahon and all that. And it comes with 2 discs. The other disc is in my DVD player because I was right before I went live. I watched the Hulk Hogan versus Vince McMahon one, and that was a pretty good match. And so I actually preferred the second disc. The second disc has the 9 matches on it, which I was actually preferring because the first one, it's all right. The first disc is all about how he created first WWF and then WWE and then Raw and SmackDown and all that crap. So I'm not dissing his story, because it's pretty incredible that he went from nothing to now a billionaire and he owns the fucking World Wrestling Federation, all that. That's cool, but I actually was like, I'd rather just watch matches. So basically an 8 out of 10. Very short, sweet, to the point. The first disc was all right, kind of boring. It was okay. Second disc is rocking. There's some legendary matches on there. So not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah. Larry says, did Pixel apologize? Hope you guys are cool. You both are good dudes. Pixel is a good guy. He just gets on my wick sometimes, and he pushes the limits when he shouldn't push the limits. He's half a good guy and half a troll. I don't mind teasing because that's what like Visions teases me all the time. But there's a difference between teasing someone and trolling, and he definitely was trolling tonight when he didn't need to. And I think he pushed the limits too far. But he did apologize, Larry. And I said, well, actions speak louder than... Well, actually, I first said, I appreciate the apology, Pixel, and I accept it. But I said, actions speak louder than words. I'm like, next time, just don't start shit in my lives. And like I've told you guys a million times, I don't want trolls in here. I don't want drama. I don't want bullshit. I just want to have a cool place where I can hang out with my online buddies and the loving and loyal fans and talk about cool, interesting topics and have fun and do the Fears podcast and the Fears show in peace and harmony and just have a good time and no negative shit. So yeah. So I just said, Pixel, I said, actions speak louder than words. And then I said, I appreciate the apology and I accept the apology. But I said, I just need some time, man. I said, you're probably going to be blocked for at least a couple of months. And he said, I understand, Fears. And I said, maybe you'll think twice before starting shit when you don't need to start shit. And that doesn't just go for him. It goes for anyone. I'm telling you guys, you get one chance. If any of those trolls or anybody comes in, if they say something that I don't like, that's strike one. And I'll time them out. They do it again, I'm like, all right, fuck you, you're gone. And I'll block them. So yeah, because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with people's troll bullshit. It's just unnecessary. And it's not good for the show, and it's not good for the fans, and it's not good for the channel, at all. I don't want a bunch of negative shit on my channel, I don't know if I was calm about it, Visions, because I did call him an asshole, and I did say, fuck you. So I wasn't, towards the end, I was calm. But right off the bat, I was like, I'm so fucking pissed that he put words in my mouth. But then once I calmed down, then I was fine. Because I'm really trying to work on my patience and my anger. Unfortunately, my dad was a great man, still is a great man. But one thing bad about my dad, when he did get mad, he did have a temper. So I generated that from him. And my dad had a lot of patience. My dad had a lot of patience, but whenever he did lose patience, it wasn't good. So, but no one's perfect, But for the most part, my dad was an amazing guy. Still is. So, yeah. Larry says, just give him probation time. I mean, that's pretty much what it is, Larry. But I'm pretty solid. He has to learn, and other people has to learn. Nobody can just do and say whatever the hell they want and get away with it. Because it's not their show. It's my show. And if you disrespect me or disrespect my friends or disrespect my family or disrespect my show, you're either going to get timed out or you're going to get blocked. Since he's a friend, I didn't want to block him. I just said, you'll be blocked for a while, and then you're more than welcome to come back whenever I unblock you on everything. But I blocked him on Twitter. I blocked him on Instagram. I blocked him on YouTube. I just need some time. And that'll give him time to think about it because he knows exactly what he did. And he even admitted it. He said, yeah, I know. Because he automatically wanted to start some shit. You know? Because if he didn't want to start shit, then he wouldn't have said what he said. Which was a total lie. He's all like, wow, Fears, I didn't think you would side with a rapist. Did I ever say that? No, that never came out of my mouth, not even once. Nor would it ever come out of my mouth. So, I was like, no, you're a liar. I didn't say that whatsoever. You're making that up. So, don't even go there. That's why I immediately timed him out as soon as he said it. I was like, no, that's not true whatsoever. So that was the comment that really went over the edge. And I was like, oh, this is so immature, you know? So, yeah. Vision says, oh, well, what can you do? Exactly. Exactly, Visions. You know? I'm glad that he understood. Because he did right. He goes, well, Fears, I understand why you're going to block me for a while. And I said, I'm good. I said, good. I'm glad you understand. I said, I'm glad you understand. I said, it won't be forever. But I said, Pixel, you cannot just do and say whatever the hell you think. And that doesn't just go to him. It goes to anyone that watches my show. You disrespect me or my friends or my loyal fans or my family or bring a bunch of troll shit, you're going to get timed out and you're going to get blocked. That's just how it is, you know? So, yeah. Larry says you handled it well. Well, I appreciate it, Larry. I tried to handle it the best way I could. All right. Well, we've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Hopefully that stream ended up for the short one when I first started. This stream should have happened the first time around. So I'm sorry that the weekend started kind of rocky. You know what I'm saying? You know? I'll tell you what. Wait, I tell you what you can do. You can have a cheeseburger. I'll think about it, Triple. Vision says that's nice. Well, Visions, you can have a cheeseburger because you don't have Crohn's. You know what I'm saying? Triple, I'll think about it. But anyway, like I said, tonight's homework, watch Evil Dead, not 1, but 2. And so on tomorrow's stream, then you guys can chime in and give me your 2 cents on the live about this. Look at his crazy eyes, Visions. You guys got some crazy eyes. Bruce Campbell, this guy, he's fucking hilarious. Fucking guy. Oh man, I can't wait to watch this. We're gonna beat Crohn's Fears. Oh God. Listen, Triple, I wish. The thing that sucks about Crohn's, it's kind of like cancer. They haven't found a cure yet for cancer. You know, because there's different forms of cancer. My dad had one of the worst ones. Prostate cancer is a son of a bitch. Crohn's, they have medicine to relieve the pain, but they don't know how to cure it. I wish they would cure it. Because it would have saved... If they would have cured it by now, Visions and Triple, it would have saved Fears a lot of time and effort of going to the bathroom, 10 times a day sometimes, and throwing up, and shitting my ass off, and it's just weird. Some days, it's great. Some days, I just have to go to the bathroom, like, maybe 1 pee a day, and then 1 big dump at the end of the day, right? I'm not trying to gross anyone out. That's a normal day for people. Take a piss, take a shit, that's it. Other days, it's like 4 or 5 pisses and like 9 shits, It's ridiculous. So, yeah. That's pretty funny, Triple. Dr. Pickle Wickle prescribes 1 cheeseburger a week to start out. Then we'll build up. Oh, Lord. I don't know if I can do it. We'll see, Triple. I'll keep you updated. Because pretty much whenever I eat cheese on pizza, I've gotten a few cramps here and there, but it hasn't been that bad, you know. Anyway, I'm taking off. It's almost 12 o'clock, you know. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take off, but I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Tomorrow the streams will be back. So do your homework assignment, and hopefully I can upload a video tomorrow. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys somewhat enjoyed this live, because I know some of it was kind of a bummer, but I did the best I could, you know. So, you know what, Larry, I will too. I will miss Pixel, but he and other people have to learn to respect the rules of my live. You know, I just get sick and tired of all the troll shit. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know. Anyway, thanks for the stream, Fears. No problem, Triple, as always. Anyway, I'm glad you guys liked it. I'll be back with another live tomorrow, and hopefully a video tomorrow, because before I go to bed, I'm going to try and finish up a video. I'm going to try. I just haven't been in the editing mood. And now with all this new Pixel shit, I'm going to be even more depressed than I already was, because I don't like blocking anyone, especially a friend, you know. But you got to do what you got to do. And I'm trying to get unbummed. You know, I'm trying to get back to happy-go-lucky Fears, but I've been pretty bummed, and a lot of shit's been on my mind for the last couple of months. So, yeah. Visions gives me a peace. That's right. Peace out. Peace out. All right. Time to end this stream, but I hope you guys somewhat enjoyed it. I know hopefully tomorrow there won't be zero drama, and hopefully it'll be way better, because it started off bad, but at least we ended the live pretty good. All right, I'm taking off, but time for some plugs. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to FearsMan26, the main channel. Fears Vlogs is the second channel. Check me out on TikTok. I'm so close to hitting 9,000. Give me a like, give me a sub on TikTok, FearsMan26. Check out Richie Wright, the Challenge Master. Down in those barbecue sauces like nobody's business. Oh, yeah. Check out Visions. Lord Visions, King of the Goths. Visions, at some point, I promise you, I wish I wouldn't have missed the fucking sale, but I missed the sale. But anyway, buddy, I'm glad your surgery went well. I'm glad it was a big success. But either this weekend or next weekend, I think I'm going to buy some stuff off of LordVisions.com, because I haven't in a while, and I haven't done a Visions unboxing in quite a while. So subscribe to www.exhumevisions.com. Buy some cool shit. Why? Because Visions is my buddy. He's my pal. He's one cool motherfucker, and he makes some pretty cool fucking products. That's right. That's right. Visions, before you came back, I was telling everybody about this amazing mug. So on this mug, Randall has got two faces. He's got kind of the smirk look where he's like that. And then he's got the surprise look like that. So I'm just saying, one day if you wanted to make a Fears mug, all Fears all the time, get these thumbnails. I'm going to try to recreate both faces, buddy. All right, here we go. Let me just study these. So here comes the smirk. There we are. And then here's the surprise look. There we are. So now you got two. That's right. I'm telling you, one of the coolest things about Visions, I'll be honest, Visions, I love your merch, but some of the best merch is some of the stuff that I've never bought. Like, whenever Visions does those surprises, that's it, because you make some cool shit. No doubt. But the surprises are even 10 times better. I remember I'm doing the unboxing, and I go, what the hell is this? And I open it up, but like, it was a good what the hell, you know what I'm saying, Visions? It wasn't like a bad what the hell is this. I open up, I'm like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? And I open it up, and the reason why I said that, I was so surprised. One of the best surprises Visions has ever done I don't know if you can top this. I mean, maybe you could try Visions, but I don't know if you can top the please be patient, I have Crohn's. I was fucking losing my goddamn mind. It was great. It was great. It was great. It was great. That was one of the best things you created. And then, all the watch sleepaway camp shit. That's priceless. Because a few people have came over, a couple of guests have came over to my house Visions, and they're like, Fears, they're like, you got to explain these stickers, man. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, Fears, I know you decorate, your plastic container with all your belt buckles and shoes, and I've shown you guys that. And I said, yeah. And he goes, and I get it. You think it's cool. You put stickers on your coffee pot. And I said, I stole that from the dude. I said, that wasn't my original idea, but I said, I thought the dude's idea was so cool. I was like, I hope he doesn't mind. I'm going to take that idea. And I said I started putting the stickers all over my coffee pot. And then my friend was like, yeah, that's cool, Fears. He goes, I'm not making fun of that. He goes, I need some clarification, though. He goes, what the hell is up with these watch sleepaway stickers, right, Visions? So I look at my friend. I said, it's an inside joke. I said, my buddy Visions was getting sick and tired of me putting off the sleepaway camp review. And he goes, oh, yeah, Fears. He goes, I saw that fucking video. He goes, I can't believe you made your fans wait like 2 or 3. I said, well, to be honest, buddy, I was just being a lazy shit, and I should have done it fucking ages ago. And he's like, yeah, Fears. He goes, sometimes you get into these lazy kicks. He goes, Fears, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. He goes, but me as your friend, he goes, I got to say something. I was like, yeah, go for it. And he goes, you are a hard worker, Fears. You are. He goes, but every once in a while you'll get into these lazy kicks where you're like, yeah, I'll edit it eventually. And then like a year or two goes by. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And he goes, I can't believe you made them wait like 2 or 3 years. And I said, well, it'll never happen again. I said, I got a lot of people mad. I said, Visions, he didn't get mad, but I said, you got a little perturbed, Visions. I remember you're like, Fears, I can't fucking take it anymore. Make that goddamn review. And I was like, oh shit, Visions I've never seen him this serious. So I made it that fucking day. When you said it, you're like, Fears, enough is enough, you miserable fuck. You make this goddamn review and you make it fucking today. And I was like, all right. So I got my head out of my ass and I made that fucking review. Visions, I hope it was worth the wait, buddy. I really do. But it'll never happen again. When I say I'll do a review, I'll either do it that day or within that week. I promise you, because I never want that to happen again. So I had to give my friend some clarification. And he was like, well, but why these stickers? I said it was part of the ongoing joke. Like, Visions was trying to get me to do the review. So he made a book. He made a video about it. He did a 4-hour live stream of just him saying, watch Sleepaway Camp. My friend actually watched that stream, Visions. My friend watched your stream ages ago, and he went, Fears, he goes, your friend Visions is pretty funny. I said, I know, right? 4 hours of watch Sleepaway Camp. And then my friend caught your one mess up where you're like, watch Sleep Camp, and then you're like, I don't think so. Watch Sleepaway Camp. My friend fucking lost his mind over that. And I'm like, well, it's good. I'm like, I lost my mind too over it. I'm like, 4 hours of watch Sleepaway Camp. And then I told him about the stickers. So yeah. someone's writing a Titanic book. Well, Visions, hopefully it's not you writing the Titanic book. Oh Lord. But I'm telling you, it's not an excuse. The main reason why I haven't made a lot of content is I've just been so depressed. A lot of shit's been on my mind. And I'm not using my dad as an excuse. It's the truth. Most of my problems, and mainly what I've been depressed is I knew now that my vacation's over, I was like, well, at some point I need to make my dad's tribute video. And that's going to be a hard fucking video to make. And it's going to be very emotional. But I want to honor my dad. That's why it took me so long. And whenever you guys see it, it'll be worth the wait, because I hate that I'm going to have to make that RIP, rest in peace, dad video. I mean, I want to, but it sucks that I have to make that video, because I never wanted my dad to die. But I understand everyone dies, but I miss my dad a lot. So all that shit's been on my mind. And then all the other shit built on top of it, you know, not having a lady for 4 years, that's the least of my fucking worries, but I would like a lady in this century, you know, and then I miss my mom and I miss my grandma, and then I'm worried about my grandma. I don't want her to fall again, because my mom sent me a better picture of her face yesterday, and it's still purple, but it's not as purple, you know, so slowly but surely she's getting better visions. And I'm like, well, I don't want her to fall again and then her have to fucking start healing all over again, you know, because she's old. She's almost 90, you know. So I'm like, Grandma, I know you're independent. I know you like your independence, but you got to just slow it down a little bit, you know. Like when Fears is 90, I won't be going, I'll still be going ballistic, but I won't be going as ballistic when I'm 90, you know. Anyway. So a lot of shit's been going on, you know. So yeah. Larry says, yeah, Larry says, I should be writing that book. I wish I could. Larry, well, you know what, Larry, why don't you and Vision switch off? Vision's wrote the Sleepaway Camp book. I would fucking lose my mind. The minute I open up my P.O. box, it says, 2 Fears from Larry. I open it up, and it says, a book dedicated to John Fears, the Titanic vlog book. And then you open up the book and it's like, make that fucking Titanic vlog, Fears, you fucking shit. And it's just like countless thousands of pages. Oh man, Larry. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll find out whenever the P.O. box is open. Which, by the way, I'm opening up the P.O. box very soon. It's going to be either the middle of September or the end of September, because I want it opened before Christmas and before my birthday. Not that I'm saying anyone needs to buy me anything, but if you guys feel like getting something for my birthday, have at it. If you feel like getting something for Christmas, Fears will put it under the tree, and when I do the unboxing, I'll be like, hey, you know, Vision's got me this, or hey, you know, Triple got me this, you know. But what I'm really looking forward to is to all your guys' fan letters whenever I open up my P.O. box. So that's coming soon. I went to the post office and I asked them, I said, how much is the cheapest one? And they said, it's this. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. And I said, do you have to pay it monthly? And she goes, nope. She goes, you pay one fee right off the bat, and then we open it up like a day or two later. And then she's like, so be sure to tell your fans. And I said, oh, I will. Because they always ask, what's it for? And they said, because you already have an address. And I said, yeah. I said, my friends and my family are going to use my normal address. And then I said, I have a YouTube fan base. And I remember Vision, she said, oh, is it big? And I said, well, it's getting there. I said, it's not massive, but I said, it's getting there. And she's like, oh, well, that'll be fun. And I said, well, I hope it's fun. I said, I hope it's not a fucking disaster. And trolls send me evil shit in the mail, you know? And then she's like, just make some rules. I said, there'll be rules. I said, I'm going to make a video about... And I said, in the video, I'm going to show everybody the address to the P.O. box. And then I'm going to say, the biggest rule will be not one bit of troll mail will make it into a video or a live when I read all your guys' fan mail. So I'll be like, so you'll be wasting your money to send it. You'll be wasting your time to send it. And I said, if people do send me troll mail, I'll just film myself burning it. Because Randall it was either Randall or Sam gave me that idea. He goes, Fears, if you do get a shitload of troll mail, just take it out to that barbecue pit, like in that park, inside your apartment complex, and just cram it all in there, and then just light it on fire and burn it. I was like, that's actually a good idea. So, yeah. So they'll be wasting their time if they said any of that stupid shit. So, yeah. Oh, nice, Larry. Larry says, I have a package I want to send, but it's cool stuff for your prop shelf. Oh, damn. Well, you don't have to, Larry. But if you do it, I will fucking debut it. And I think whenever the P.O. box is opened, I'm going to do half and half. Like, if I get a bunch of fan letters, I'm not going to do it like Tommy, because I don't want to steal Tommy's thunder. And I don't want anyone saying, oh, Fear stole your fucking mailbox Monday. So I probably won't do it on Monday. Maybe I'll do it like on a weekend or something. I won't call it like Fears' Mailbox Monday. I haven't decided what I'm going to call it. I'm going to maybe call it Fears Man Mail or fears or fears letters or fears or fears fan letter, something. I'll come up with something, to call it, and I'll probably do it sometimes in a live where I read all your guys' fan mail. And if I do get any boxes, I'll do it unboxing on a live, and then sometimes I'll make a video out of it. So we'll see. Nonetheless, it'll both be great content. So yeah. Anyway, I probably should take off. I'm getting a little tired. Because I want to get, I'm getting hungry again, so it's already 12. Good Lord. Man, we almost went 3 hours. Almost. So I'm going to get a little snack, take another shower, because I'm starting to get a little sweaty. And then, have a little yummy dillion time before bed. Always got to make time for that. Obviously, I'm just joking around. Well, I'm kind of joking around, but shh, mum's the word. And then I'll do a little editing, and then off to sleep. And then I'm probably going to finish watching the matches. Because there are some good matches. The only one I need to watch is the Undertaker Buried Alive match, whatever the hell that is. And then, I can't believe he wrestled his own daughter, Visions. It says, Stephanie McMahon versus Vince McMahon, the I Quit match, No Mercy, No Holds Bar match. And they filmed that October 19th, 2003. Oh, shit. That was the year I graduated. Damn, this shit's old. Fears graduated in 2003 from high school. That is a long-ass time. Triple said, what's for dinner, Fears? Well, I've already had dinner. I'm just going to make a snack before bedtime. I don't know. Maybe I'll make some toast, Triple. Or maybe I'll make a sandwich because I'm getting a little hungry. So, yeah. Anyway, Triple says, you know what, Fears? I'm going to make your life a living hell, and I'm going to send you many Blu-rays of 2016 Ghostbusters. You know what I got to say to that? Only in Fears' nightmare. But you know what, Triple? I hate to burst your bubble. Fears already has one copy of that already. But see, I'm a Ghostbuster fan through thick and thin. I have the good, the bad, the ugly, the horrible, everything fucking Ghostbusters. So I don't need another fucking copy of it. Anyway, I'm taking off. But it's been a good stream. It made up for the first stream. It sucks that I had to do it all over again. But it is what it is. Anyway, Fears loves you guys. Fears cares about you guys, as always. And I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow I'm going to try and get out there and do something fun tomorrow. As Fears always says, I usually let the weekend come to me. Something will come up. It always does, Maybe an FYE trip. Find those gems, or find more gems at FYE. I don't know. I haven't decided. I don't know. We'll see. Because Visions, I don't know if you ever went. Visions, if you ever went to an FYE, they've got some great fucking gems. I mean, old ass gems that some I've heard of, and some that I've never heard of. Like when I found My Bloody Valentine, I was like, what the hell is this crap? I'm like, because they always like rip off. Like, Halloween is one of the first horror movies that was based on a holiday. I'm like, really? Killing people on Valentine's Day? And, I'm gonna rip somebody's heart out and put it in a fucking Valentine's box. And then they open it up. Oh, God, there's a heart in it. I'm like, it was fucking hilarious. I was losing my shit, Visions, when I watched that. And then it's a fucking miner, and he's killing people. And then he starts eating, a portion of the heart. And I'm like, where do they come up with this stupid garbage? But it's like that great garbage that you love, But I don't know, Visions, I think probably the most cheesiest one. I don't know if anything can top. I don't know if anyone can top. Because the title alone makes you laugh. Killer clowns from outer space. In space, no one can eat ice cream. I fucking lost my mind when I found that gem. And I found that one like when I was 21, 22. So I've had that Blu-ray for ages, So yeah. So yeah. Probably we had Sam go and Sun. What? Wait, what are you talking about? Visions? I don't know what you mean by that. What are you on about? Oh no! I get what you're. I'm sorry. I forgot the question that I asked. See, I'm getting tired. Now I know. Now what you're saying. You said probably we have some on the sun coast though. I got you. I got you. Yeah. I forgot that I asked you. See, I'm getting fucking tired. I forgot. Within 2 seconds, I asked Visions if he ever went to an FYE. My bad, buddy. I'm starting to get tired. You know, when you get older, you need more naps. Oh, I'm tired. Good Lord. Hey, but, dude, I forgot to tell you, Visions. Check it out. I got my Creeping It Real. I may wear this whenever I come to see you. This will be another shirt I may bring. Our main media stores names are called Sam Goody and Sunco. Oh, okay, I got you. Because I was wondering, I was like, hang on, what are you talking about? But yeah, you know what? Let me look those up. I think I've been in a Sam Goody before, but I've never heard of Suncoast. Before I end the stream, let's have a little look-see. Let's see what they look like on Google. All right, let me just click images. All right, so Sam Goody store. Let's see here. I don't think I've ever been in one of these. Maybe it's Suncoast I've been in. Sam Goody doesn't look like... I've heard of the name, but I don't think I've ever been in that one. And then what's the other one? The other one is Suncoast. Suncoast. Stores. Let's see this one. Ooh, this one looks cool. Suncoast Motion Picture. What's this one called? Oh, wow. That store looks really cool. Suncoast Motion Picture Company. Damn. I'm excited about that. We should totally go to this store, Visions, when I come in. The plans keep getting better and better. Visions keeps coming up with awesome ideas, you know, for the Lord Visions trip. This store looks pretty fucking... I mean, they both look cool, but I'm more excited about Suncoast. It's got like a neon sign, and I like zoomed in on the picture, Visions, shitload of Blu-rays, and on the front it says, we buy and sell used Blu-rays and DVDs. Oh, I bet you I could find some good gems in there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, it's the... wait, hang on. Vision says, what's very goth? Are you saying Sam Goody's store is very goth or Suncoast? And Visions, I know you've been in a... what's that fucking goth store? Well, it's not goth. Well, it's kind of goth. It's got... what is it called? I went to it when I was in Missouri. It was the store that gave me the free... Hang on, what the fuck is that store? Hang on. Oh, Hot Topic. Hot Topic. I know you've been in a Hot Topic before, Visions. That's really fucking goth. Triple says Marshalls. Marshalls isn't goth. You're hilarious, Triple. Triple, I'm being honest. I cannot wait to meet you one day, buddy. Because you make me laugh beyond belief. I'm telling you. Target. Target is like a mom store. Like Target has nothing to do with goth, you know? That was pretty good. I'll give you that. That was pretty good. That made me chuckle. That made me chuckle a lot. Fucking Target. Oh yeah, Target's real fucking goth. You are great. Triple, I love you, buddy, but I'm telling you, you are one hilarious motherfucker, man. Oh my god. No, but Visions, which one's more goth? Is Sam Goody more goth or is Suncoast more goth? I would think Sam Goody, right? Because the Suncoast one looked like it was all about like a movie motion picture company. That's what it said like on the neon sign. But I can't wait to go to both. The only thing about the trip, buddy, that kind of pissed me off is I really wanted to go to that Ghostbuster bed and breakfast thing, and then that motherfucker had to close it. It's in Portland. So I was like, whenever I got there, I was like, Visions, we have to dedicate one fucking day while I'm here and go check out that Ghostbuster. And then the motherfucker closes it. I don't understand why he had to close it. He turned his entire house into a bed and breakfast. He even made the outside of it look like the fucking firehouse. And then I read online, Visions. He said, well, the reason why me and my wife closed it is because we were getting too much business. That's the reason why you create a business, is to gain a lot of business. The more business makes more money. The more money, the bigger your business. And why wouldn't he have a lot of business? It's a Ghostbuster bed and breakfast. And I even told you, Visions, when I found it, I said, well, if me and Visions can't get to it, because that week when I come, we're going to be very busy, going here, there, and everywhere and hanging out and, going nuts. I was like, well, if we can't make it on that one, I said, Fears will save up his money and I'll come back to Portland and I'll do the bed and breakfast myself. And then the motherfucker had to close it down. And I don't mean to call the guy a motherfucker, but I'm like, Fears, you fucking love Ghostbusters. Why couldn't he have closed it after I checked it out? I wanted to be in the firehouse checking it out. And Visions, when you saw the pictures online, it was so detailed. It looked amazing. And I guarantee the guy probably spent like $30,000 plus because he had shitloads of Ghostbuster props everywhere. He recreated like the pole, and he had like he had the containment unit in the basement and shit, and it was like a well proper design one, and he had like he had some videos of it online. You know what I'm saying? Like he pushed a button and Slimer was all like, let me out of the containment unit, and then he had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man inside the fucking containment unit. And I was like, oh, I have to do this. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, shit. Wow, that is big news. Vision says, good news, Fears. My sex change will be fully healed by the time you're here. That's not true. Come on, Visions. See? Visions has got that dark humor just like Randall. Randall's hilarious. Visions, I know I've told you this 1,000 times, this story. The day Randall was like, you know what, Fears, let's just kill that person. I looked at, I said, wait, what? And he said, yeah, Fears, I've had it. Let's just kill that guy. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? It was hilarious, but like in a really dark way, because I'm like, well, obviously, I don't want you to kill anyone, Randall. But then when he said it was fucking hilarious. I was like, yeah, right. This is hilarious. Oh, Visions, you're great. Visions, we all know what you had surgery for, and I'm so glad it went a big success. Visions had some bowel erosion surgery, and I was definitely praying for you, buddy. I really was. I'm glad. I'm glad that it went smooth. But I'm telling you, that pain is ridiculous, man. So, I forgot to read. Vision says, maybe later when I don't have a wound gut. I got you, buddy. I think he was saying that whenever I brought up like the mug and shit. I get it, man. I understand. Loot, having stomach pain is the worst fucking pain ever. You guys saw me whenever I had my surgery to fix all that after my accident. Getting up from here and walking to the bathroom, Visions, and then walking back was like trying to climb Mount Everest, not once but twice. It was insane. It actually was a bilateral hernia repair. Damn. It was not a sex change. Come on, Visions. It wasn't a sex change. Don't even go there. You're making me lose it. Well, I remember you said something about bowel erosion on your Facebook. Hang on, what was? Let me read it. On your business Facebook page, because I know you don't. I don't think you have a normal Facebook page, Visions. If you do, tell me about it whenever I come to visit you, and I'll follow your normal Facebook. But I know you have a business Facebook. Hang on, let me read it. Because even though Fears, I'm mad at myself for missing your $10 sale. I was planning to buy something, and it was either a mixture of me being depressed and I didn't buy it, or I forgot. Because when I went to go buy it, I was like, oh shit, I'm like, the sale's off. Now it's back to $15, $20. I don't care, because I was like, well, I'm going to buy a shirt either way. I don't care if it's $10, $2, or $20. I'm going to show Vision's support like I always do. But I remember on your Facebook, hang on, let me read it. Here we go. It says, you wrote this August 18th at 10 p.m. and you said, I will be going under the scalpel next week to fix some bowel erosion, as Carcass would call it. I don't know who Carcass is. Is that from a band, Visions? I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm having a 34% sale off this weekend over the whole site while supplies last. Hopefully this will help offset the next couple of weeks for not being able to print anything. No coupon code needed. Just go to www.exhumvisions.com. And I do like the picture you made of Visions about, it says surgery sale, and then it's got like a skull with like all this hair growing off of it, with the Exhumed Visions eye in the middle. That would make a pretty cool t-shirt, Visions. Hopefully when I buy the Terminator shirt, hopefully you still got those, what the fuck did the sticker say? What was it? It was a quote out of the movie. Was it the No Problemo? Wasn't it the Hasta la Vista quote, Visions? I can't remember. It was something like that. I think it was the Hasta la Vista quote, because that's one of the most legendary lines. But if I'm wrong about that, tell me. So yeah. That was just the name of a car okay. I wasn't being serious. I made that with LI, which you know all about. Oh, that sticker? That picture? So I know it was bowel erosion. But I mean, Visions, you say, I'm just curious, how did that all happen though? Because normally, like when we've talked before, you're like, well, Fears, I used to be in really great shape, and I remember you told me a couple months ago, you're like, Fears, I'm sick and tired of being fat. I'm gonna get, well, you didn't say fat, but you said you gained some weight like me. You're trying to lose it, and then you said you went on a health kick. Normally, you say you're pretty healthy, buddy. So how did the bowel erosion and all that crazy shit happen? I'm just curious. It's none of my business, but I was kind of curious to know, like, how. And then you got a hernia and all other. So how did all that shit happen? I'm glad that you're all right, obviously. But man, that's got to be, crazy. So yeah. Triple says, "Dang, Visions, heal up, brother." Yeah, feel better, buddy. Because I'm telling you, stomach pain is without a doubt the worst fucking pain. I know what Visions is going through. I mean, I've never had a hernia and bowel erosion, but having Crohn's and then having that fucking surgery on my stomach, and now my stomach looks like goddamn Frankenstein with stitches and, all that crazy shit. But you know what? I would rather have a long-ass scar and still be alive than be like, hey, Fears, guess what? Yeah, we can't help you. You're going to be dead within a week. What? No. So I'm glad it all worked out, but I'm telling you, that was the worst pain. I mean, you guys have seen all the old. It took me like a minute or two to get up, and then sitting down was the fucking worst. So I appreciate all your guys' love and blessings and prayers whenever Fears was going through that fucking terrible pain. It was fucking horrible. Horrible. Anyway. Well, before I go, Visions, what happened? Like, because usually you're really healthy and stuff, so like, how did all that stuff go down? Like, what happened? I should have asked you before you got the surgery, but I was kind of wondering what happened, So I mean, if you don't want to say it on camera, that's fine. I mean, you can tell me off camera, but anyway, I was just curious since we were here. Let's see. I think it may have stemmed from when I was doing incline leg presses without warming up enough, but can't be sure. The abdominal walls got weak, and the guts pushed through you. The guts pushed through. you have to get surgery. Damn, that's nuts. That's nuts, buddy. It won't go away on its own, unfortunately. Yeah, you would think, right? Like, it would, or you would want it to go away on its own, but sadly, like Crohn's, it won't go away on its own, you know? Well, that's actually, it's not necessarily, when I first got Crohn's, my doctor told me this vision. He goes, Fears, Crohn's is a very weird, difficult disease. He goes, two things will happen. He goes, either it'll go away on its own and you'll be cured and you never have to worry about it ever again. He goes, or like some people, it'll be with you for the rest of your life. And I was like, oh, great. So it won't go away on its own. He goes, it may. Sometimes there's been cases where it goes away on its own, and other times it's like a tricky little guy and it'll just stay there. And I'm like, oh, wonderful, awesome. But he's like, as long as you eat right. So I try to eat right, and I try to stay away from things that'll hurt my stomach. So yeah. But I'm glad that you're feeling better, and you rest up, buddy. Anyway, I'm really gonna go this time because it's almost 1 o'clock. This has been a long stream. Well, now we just hit the 3-hour mark, so there it is. So hopefully that made up for the first stream. But anyway, I'm taking off, you guys. But you guys know I love you guys. I care about you guys. Thanks a lot for hanging out with Fears for 3 long hours. One more time, do your guys' homework. Watch this. And we'll be back tomorrow. Anyway, this is Fears signing off. And I'll see you later, alligator. All right, bye. Chnunk!